across the UK, online and on DAB.
The wild man of late night radio, Iain Lee.
Differently interesting nocturnal emissions from a legend of late night radio. On air and off the leash.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
And I think the only question that we can ask after that speech, the evening with the vote of no confidence, very tight, the speech from Theresa May, is I think we have to ask Nerina Pallot, how are your cats? Is it one cat? Is it multiple? Was it probably you had a cat that...
Has it got a very good memory?
Well, I've just got 2 new kittens, so I'm attuned to the cat world. You had a cat that came in. Yeah. Nerina Pallot is here to listen, as is Catherine.
Yay! Good evening.
And we are live. If you want to give us a call, 0344 499 1000. Nerina Pallot, one of my favourite singers. I'm not going to, but I simply adore you. I think you're fantastic. I'm a huge fan.
He's had his haircut specially.
Oh, bless.
That's to one side.
Thank you.
Tell us about the cat.
So yes, last time I saw you, I had a pregnant cat, and she gave birth to 4 kittens.
Wow.
And I kept one of the kittens. I've called him Dave.
Yeah.
He's very entertaining. And my poor husband, who's massively allergic to cats, has had to go and see an allergist and get special drugs for it.
So is he on drugs just to keep the pet? Yes. Wow. That's incredible. Now, am I right? Because come a little bit closer to the microphone, because these are not very good mics. But the cat... The pregnant cat, you didn't own, it just kind of moved in with you.
What happened was we'd gone out for dinner, and we'd imbibed quite a bit, and a bit more, and a bit more. And my husband and I came in, and it was like a rainstorm, and we got in the hallway and we're like, is there a cat in the house? He's like, nah, you just drank a lot, love. I was like, no, there's a cat in the house. And there was a cat in the house.
Brilliant.
We put the lights on, and I realised that she was really small and really wide.
Yeah.
So we can't let her out. And she's obviously pregnant. She must belong to someone. The next morning I dumped her out. Not dumped her, but, she didn't leave. She stayed forever. And she had these little kittens, and they were so sweet. And
because we have a listener called Roger who stole a cat.
Oh.
He stole a cat, and yours sounds like, okay, you tried to get rid of her, she kept coming back.
Yeah, and then someone did steal her, and that upsets me, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, if you're listening... he was it the story? He was at work and this cat came.
Oh yeah.
And so he sort of just kept it after one visit from the cat.
I think that was the story.
Roger, if we're libelling you, 0344 499 1000. If you don't call in, then we know that you're a scumbag.
And we will carry on calling you Roger, cat snatcher.
Absolute scumbag. I've got my very old cat Velvet, who's going to be 20 in March.
That's amazing.
That's old, skin and bones, and completely deaf. And then just before Christmas, I got 2 rescue kittens. They were 6 months old. Who my boys, they had the wonderful names of Misty and Melody. And I said to my boys, look, they're young enough, we can change their names if we want. And they said, OK. And straight away they said, how about Lucky and Mucky? I went, OK, that's a great place to start. No, we like Lucky and Mucky. And every time I'd say, have we got any more thoughts on the cat? Yeah, Lucky and Mucky.
So is that what they're called now?
They're called Lucky and Mucky. They're called Lucky and Mucky.
At least it rhymes.
It rhymes. Although, as Kath says, calling a cat Lucky is...
It's the kiss of death, isn't it?
It's tempting fate. But so I got these little cats, these little girls, and I got them just before Christmas. They're sisters. And Catherine is not allowed cats. So they are kind of her cats by proxy.
Yeah, I have to visit them.
Come and visit them.
Why are you not allowed cats?
I've got a husband that just hates cats.
Oh, how can someone hate cats?
I don't know. I'm wondering how much he hates cats. I'm wondering whether I can test that theory.
But I'm very proud because when they came in, they were rescue cats, and they spent the first 3 weeks I've got a piano, and it's pushed up against the wall. You know, the space between a wall and a piano.
Yeah.
They spent the first 3 weeks just in there together.
Hiding
just
behind
looking up like that.
But
they've just over Christmas, and now they've just started to come out, and they're now sitting on laps, and they're causing Cats are the best.
How's your older cat dealing with the new ones?
She is not very happy because I've had to lock the cat flap for a while, so she's not cool with that. And the younger cats will go up and see her, and she's like, okay, right. But then they start hissing at her and stealing her food.
They can really make you think you've ruined their life, can't they? They've got that look, cats. They specialise in it.
They're the best company, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
The best.
Yeah.
Now, you've moved. Dave has come with you?
Dave has come with me. Mum's called Joni.
And they're cool with the move?
They were. I did the thing. You were meant to lock your cats up for 2 to 3 weeks, they say. And some people say put butter on their paws. I've never really got to the bottom of that wisdom.
What's that?
Well,
no idea.
Isn't it that they're supposed to kind of they lick their way back or something? I've heard that. I've never done that.
It's sort of things that Tory MPs do, isn't it, for fun or something?
But
can imagine
on something. I think someone
Rees-Mogg doing that for kids.
Rees-Mogg would never have a cat lick his penis. Let's just say that for legal reasons. For legal reasons, that has never happened.
Why did you give us that image?
I'm sure it never would.
Yeah, no, it's going to be hard to get that out of my mind.
But
so let's move this away from that.
Nerina's instantly regretting coming in. Why couldn't I have come in on James Well or Matthew Wright's show? This is not fun.
Oh my word!
So you've had them for 2 or 3 weeks. You've not put butter on their paws.
That's correct.
But they've gone out.
Yes, but one of them, the mum is a Houdini.
Oh.
And I couldn't, it's very stressful. Cats can make you very stressed. There was this wonderful article, I think it was in The Guardian, and it was about this woman with a cat called Kevin, which I love. I love those really prosaic names for cats. They're fantastic. I'm waiting to get another dog so I can call it Stuart. I think it's a great, brilliant dog. And she said, you know what, I thought I felt safe and secure until I got a cat.
Yeah.
And it's like having a really bad boyfriend, isn't it? Or that kind of never knowing where you stand with them.
Oh, I've only been in this house 4 months. It's not mine anymore. They own it. They've got the run of it. They've worked out how to open the bin and jump in and pull out the packets of food and eat them.
Smart. And it's a press down to flip open bin.
I can
How do you describe what they do?
Like Super Mario. They must jump on it.
They just bounce it open. We'll put the headphones on, Nerina, because
has Roger called?
We've got a scumbag on the line. We've got a cat. He's a cat burglar, and I don't mean in the romantic sense. He actually steals animals. Roger, would you like to explain to Nerina Pallot, please, exactly what you did, you scumbag?
Good evening, Iain. Good evening, Catherine, and good evening, Nerina.
Hello.
He's libeling me. Ignore that nasty man.
Tell us the story and let her be the judge.
She'd been coming for weeks. The cat had been visiting where I do my voluntary work. She'd been coming for weeks.
Hang on. Notice he had to put in his voluntary work.
I know.
I'm a very good man.
Go on, carry on, cat thief.
Well, she was living. She was living in the warehouse, and sometimes she was spending time at the place next door, the car
house with her owners.
And I really felt sorry for her, and nobody had time to take her to a vet to see whether she'd been chipped. So I took her home.
Oh,
took her to a vet.
Whoa! The logical thing would be, so I took her to the vet.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I did.
All right, okay.
And was she chipped?
Yes, she was chipped. I think I called Kath about it when you were off.
Kath doesn't tell me what happens. So go on.
I didn't believe a word of it.
Yeah, but what happened was that I took her to the vet. The veterinary nurse checked her for a chip, couldn't find one, so I booked an appointment with a vet for a checkup.
Yeah.
And took her back a half hour later.
Yeah.
Oh, the vet found a chip. It was in a different place to what they usually put.
Oh, I say.
She'd been missing for about 2 months.
Oh wow! So did the cat go home?
Yep.
Oh, you did the right thing in the end then.
Hey.
Oh.
Yeah, the cat went home.
I can see why you called in, Roger.
Yeah.
I don't actually believe this part of the story, but
no, if you listen carefully, you hear.
He's always bullying me.
What was her name in the end? Did you find out her name?
Didn't find anything out about her, sadly. She was black and white, so we started calling her Oreo.
Here's what you need to do, man. This is what I did. I went on loads of local Facebook groups and found loads of different cat rescue centres and groups, and there's like big ones like the Cats Protection League, and there's small ones that are run from the home of elderly couples, and just get on there and say, look, I'd like a rescue cat. What you got? What can you get me?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Do it, man. It's the best. It's the best.
I'm going to get a cat.
And get a black one, because no one goes for the black ones.
I don't know why nobody goes for black ones. My first cat was a gorgeous black cat with green eyes.
Because people think they're unlucky. I think there's two schools of thought. Some countries think they're unlucky, some think they're really lucky.
I think they're beautiful.
Yeah, the stray mum is a black cat.
Yeah, I've always had black cat. Velvet's black, Mucky is completely black, and Lucky is black with bits of white. And I went to visit these gorgeous girls, and the people that were fostering them said, no one wants them because they're black. I said, they're coming with me. No, they're coming. I'm not having that. And they're the best.
I know, I don't know why people have that superstition.
Well,
even years ago, it's silly.
One of the reasons I heard, I don't know how true this is, that people don't want black cats is because they don't look good in selfies.
I can believe that now.
This is one of the things, but I don't know. Roger, I apologise for calling you a scumbag.
I accept your apology as
but
well.
I do still think you're a scumbag. Okay, thank you very much indeed, Roger. Outrageous behaviour. I don't believe a word of that. 0344 499 1000 is me. It's always weird starting the show 10 minutes late, and it's weird times.
We had the night off yesterday, so it feels like a Monday.
Yesterday I was in bed very early. Nerina Pallot said, "You don't want to talk Brexit. You don't want to talk Brexit, do you?"
No. Does anybody anymore?
Well, this is the thing, right? And I understand why we didn't do the show yesterday. I listened to a little bit of it, and it was a great show. You know, it was a really important day in Britain. But everywhere is just like Brexit, and coming up on the next show, they're going to be talking about Brexit for another 3 hours. It's so boring. And I don't understand any of it.
I don't think anybody does. Especially not Parliament.
We're all screwed. That much I know. We're all doomed. Okay, good. I was worried that you might want to come in and go, right, this is my chance to show everybody that I know what's what in politics.
What about our previous experience of Nerina made you think that that's what she would come in and want to do?
Sometimes these pop stars, they want. It's like when David Cassidy didn't want to be in the Partridge Family anymore, and so he did an interview with Rolling Stone where he was pictured naked and talked about smoking drugs.
What? David Cassidy?
Yeah.
God rest his soul.
Yeah, killed his career.
Is he still? No, hold
on.
He
died about.
Someone might have killed him off, and he was still alive.
He died November 2017. About the same day as Charles Manson. There you go. Those are the.
Did he die as well?
Yeah.
I completely missed last year.
Really?
It's like it didn't happen.
What were you up to?
I think listening to the news about Brexit. Really. Was there any other news?
What are you doing work-wise? Because you've come in just because you wanted to come in. It's not because it's like there's a brand new album.
No, I've nothing to plug.
But this is amazing. This is amazing. But are you doing anything at the moment? Because you had now Stay Lucky. Was that last year?
Yeah, last time I saw you was just at the end of 2017.
2017,
yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
So then, what happens when you do an album and you put it out and you've written it and it's produced and it's and you've done all the concerts to kind of promote? What do you do then? Are you then going, I need to get another record going?
No, you tour. So I spent last year touring a lot, here in Europe and loads of festivals, and then you try, and in between that you try and write for your next record, which is where I am at the moment.
Because and this isn't a personal, this is a criticism of the industry, not you, but no one's selling as many records as people were selling 20 years ago. No. It's now, whereas before people, a big act would make money on the records and then go out and tour. Now it's the other way around.
Yeah,
you kind of the touring is how you earn your living.
What's happening now is people are almost making records to have a reason to tour.
Right. Okay.
So they're treating records a bit more like merchandise, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I think I can kind of see it's a return to actually what it was like in the 60s and 70s. That was what was happening.
Yeah.
People were making their money on the road, and then they'd suddenly have a record that would blow up. But now, even if you're doing billions of streams, it's really hard to make a living. And songwriters, the cut on the way we're streaming music is much, much less than it used to be if you were buying actual records.
Is that... No, we know Spotify's a bad deal for artists.
It is and it isn't.
Go on.
So, as far as the major record labels are concerned, Spotify's great. Because they get a big chunk of money, and they often get an advanced chunk of money.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then what they do with it, what the big majors do with it, is they distribute it as they feel fit.
So it doesn't necessarily go to the artist that's generating it.
Music business accounting is such a dark art.
Yeah.
That it's unfathomable.
I didn't know that. I thought just Spotify was just a lousy payer, but of course someone's making money out of it.
If you think about it, one stream is 0.001 penny. But having said that, when we were all buying records, we were all similar age, and we were paying if you wanted a hot ticket record, I remember paying 16 quid for OK Computer.
Yeah.
I do happen to like OK Computer, so I did listen to it. But you might go and spend that on a record, and you might listen to it 3 times.
Yeah.
But you'd paid all that money. Now, say you buy a record, or you go and you stream a record over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You could effectively be paying for it more than just buying it once. Do you see what? You see what I mean?
But music is I mean, Spotify's one thing. I'm not signed up to it. I signed up for a bit, and I just thought, actually, I'm not getting. If I like something, I'm gonna buy the CD.
Physical.
I'm gonna have it, and I'm gonna own it.
Do you have a CD player at home?
Yeah, and I've got tape decks.
So I've got tape decks.
I've got vinyl, but I've realised I've got no CD player.
Oh, mate, get a CD player.
Except in my car.
Well, yeah, you haven't even got that in your car, have you?
No.
When I bought my last car, I asked for a tape deck, and they went, "What? What's that?" I said, "It's okay, that's fine. I'll stick with this."
But they were even surprised when you wanted a CD player, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. But I like the physical. I bought some. They're in my car. I like having a physical thing to hold.
Yeah.
I like how they look on shelves.
Yeah.
You know, I think they look stunning.
And it turns out, we had this conversation on Monday, didn't we, that you don't get to keep things the way you think you do when you download
This
them.
is the thing as
Yeah,
well.
when your Wi-Fi goes down.
When
what do you do then?
When your Wi-Fi goes down, but also I've seen a few accounts of people have bought films on like Amazon or iTunes and then gone to the library like a year later and the film has gone.
Yeah.
And they've got in touch with the supplier and they said, "Oh no, we don't have the licence for that film anymore." So you think you've bought it, but you don't actually own it. And they can
that
just
was
take
the
it.
whole thing. Didn't Bruce Willis try and sue Apple a few years ago because the terms and conditions, I don't know if they've changed, but how you know the amount of times it comes up with agree, and everybody just clicks
Yeah,
agree,
of course.
right? When do you ever read the terms and
No,
conditions?
you scroll down because you're usually in the middle of trying to do something.
Yeah, but I think iTunes, it was the right to license the music, not to own it. And so
Right.
I'm sure it's Bruce Willis.
Wow.
Maybe I've imagined it. He took them to court and said, "I've spent X thousand amount of dollars. Surely I should own this rather than be licensing it from you." So you technically don't own it.
But there are so many ways. This is one of my things as well, is that everyone wants everything for free. I could get any of your albums for free, either by going on YouTube or finding a hooky bit torrent site and download.
Yeah.
Everything is movies are out there for free. There's websites where the latest movies that are in cinemas you can get for free. And the podcasts, as we know, are free. I worry that kind of people. There's a generation of people who are surprised that actually you have to pay for stuff. You think that everything should be free, and they don't think that to make art.
Yeah.
It's a job, and it takes that artist should be rewarded financially.
That's the thing I keep coming up against, and we've talked about this before as well.
Yeah.
Because they're listening to it while they're having a good time in their free time. The assumption is that you've had a great time making it. And it's like tune into someone's YouTube channel that they're doing because they're hoping they're going to get discovered or whatever. Because you're giving them a good time, it's somehow deemed to be not as valuable or serious piece of work as if they were, I don't know, buying, what would you say, buying a book or something.
Yeah. Pay the artist.
Well, you see, people are downloading books illegally.
Yeah. There's loads of websites where you can get them all. You can get 1,000 books in 5 seconds.
It is worrying. But I don't know. I think people just, I think they do value it, but they value it in a different way. So they see the music, they might buy merchandising or things like that, or they might go to a gig, or I think the actual thing that gets them hooked into you may have to be free first, But then how many times did we all home tape? Like every Sunday night.
Did we kill live music?
Right? We were all, none of us had, when I was a teenager, I did not have the money to go out and buy the top 40 every week.
Did you take the charts
and
pause it when it was, who was it in your era? Bruno Brooks?
Right.
And pause it when Bruno was on and then hit it again and all of that?
Yeah.
I didn't, but my sister used to do that.
I did. I had my own radio station.
Sorry?
Used to make tapes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Double Deck. Do you remember Double Deck and you'd speak over it?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Have you still got those?
I think my grandma had them.
Mate, dig them out. That's a week of shows.
There's definitely one tape for sure, and I must have been about 7 or 8, and my sister was my sidekick. And, we made adverts and everything.
Oh, wow. Find that. That's
You made adverts. What were you advertising?
Oh, we made a voice change lotion.
Sorry?
Yeah.
A voice change lotion?
Yeah, you could buy these special tablets that were that were voice change lotion.
Oh, now listen, this is great because maybe I don't know how the next album is progressing, but Catherine was in a group.
No, don't.
Catherine,
don't. I was in a group when I was 9 in my friend's garage.
Catherine's got some lyrics that you might be able to use.
The only one I can remember is,
this could be,
it's tricky.
This could be it.
It's a tricky one to shoehorn in.
Come on.
Oh man!
What was the group called?
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite good,
isn't it?
Wow is a good name.
And the chorus was "Yo, we're wow, yo." It wasn't really singing, and then it was. Oh, don't make me do the verse.
Do it.
Oh God! It went something like.
This is my favourite lyric of any song ever. I love it.
Running down the speedway, chasing all the ice cream, yo. We're wow.
Running down the speedway, chasing all the ice cream.
You know, the Spice Girls are reforming to do a tour. I mean, maybe they're looking for new material.
I mean, it's
Posh
only
Spice isn't doing it.
Exactly.
Didn't you play Posh Spice in the Spice Girls tribute band?
What happened was we went out dressed as the Spice Girls, as a lot of girls did in 1996. We went out thinking that would be a laugh, and we got recruited to they wanted us to go to an audition for a Spice Girls tribute band. Yeah. Well, Spice Girls was still going, I think it was called Nice and Spicy.
Nice and Spicy.
But they didn't want us to sing. I can't work it out.
I don't think they wanted the real Spice Girls to sing either. But
were you a fan of the Spice Girls?
I did.
Yeah.
I thought they were fun.
Yeah, you have to be a miserable sod to not like the Spice Girls.
And great tunes, actually. Some of the songs are
To
really
Become
good pop
One.
songs. Yeah.
It's a fantastic pop song.
Yeah, really good.
So You'll Be There is my favourite.
That's a great tune.
Not so much. My boys, one has just turned 9 last weekend and one's turning 7 this weekend. But last year, maybe the year before, my youngest was really into the Spice Girls. He just discovered them and loved them. And he knew all their names and he would sing. What was the dirty one that he would sing?
Oh, I wanna make you holler and make you scream my name. I mean,
he would sing Holler, which is about like a sex dungeon.
That's their second album, isn't it?
Why
do I know that?
I think it is, and it's a dirty song. It'll take you to my pleasure room.
Yeah.
And he would sing that. So obviously,
wow, is that the lyric?
Oh, Fantasy Room.
Completely passed me by. It must have been Mel B wrote that
my
lyric.
daughters
right?
loved those ones as well, and they were not so, because we were kind of fed the line that it was all about marketing, and it was a big. My kids had never seen a Spice Girls video, and they loved those songs.
Stop right now! I love that one. Stop right. Anyway, so last year we'll do the adverts in a bit, Sam. The adverts great. This is more fun. So last year I took them to a Spice Girls tribute act at I think the Wickham Swan.
Were you in it, Kath?
No, sadly, they never came back to me.
So I took them, and it was great. Although they sang, there was one bit they went. There are not just great songs by girl singers like the Spice Girls. There are other great songs, and here are some songs by other great females.
Oh,
I'm thinking,
no.
They start singing "We Are Family" and stuff like that. I'm thinking, the Spice Girls had enough songs to fill out a show. Anyway, halfway through it, it all kicked off in the audience in the balcony. There was a fight.
What?
We were the only blokes there.
Where was this again?
This is at the Wickham Swan last year. We were the only men there. It was all stag.
The Wickham Swan.
It was all hen nights. It's all hen nights. And earlier on, someone ended up in the balcony and won a bottle of wine, and they obviously just caned it because it kicked off. And then the band saw what was going on, walked off stage. The house lights came up, and it's these women arguing, and everyone starts going, "Kick 'em out!" And I'm there with the boys, and my boys going, "Daddy, what's happening?" I said, "Oh, it's just a bit of fun." And then security eventually came, and this woman. The troublemaker, she was being escorted out. She bent over, pulled down her trousers, moved to the entire Wickham Swan.
Because these are all 90s women. These are all our generation of women.
I think
they've not been out for a while.
We were the Ladettes, weren't we? We were
a little bit too much girl power, I think. A little bit
Could
too
see
much
her girl
Whitney.
power.
But I'd like to go and see him, but I don't want to see him in a stadium. I don't like stadium gigs.
No, and the thing is, it's not proper if they're not all of them. Because you kind of need Posh to be there doing nothing, really.
I mean, she does the peace sign.
Yeah, because it's just that's their energy, that's their synergy, you know.
But then take that and go out with 3 of them. That seems to be cutting it a little bit fine, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it was always Barry sorry, what's his name?
Barry
Barry
Gardiner.
Gary Paul. I always call him Barry. He looks like a Barry.
He does, and he sounds a lot like a Barry.
Do you remember him on Saturday Swap Shop, or what was it, Saturday Superstore?
Was that when he won the Christmas song for Christmas thing?
I just remember him wearing this scarf.
Yeah.
It was a horrible scarf.
Yeah.
And I've never been able to like his music ever since.
Yeah. He was one of those really old-fashioned kids, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He was
an old-fashioned man
when he was 18.
So Stay Lucky was 2017, then you toured, Do you like doing live shows? You must like doing live shows.
Yeah, I do.
You hesitated slightly.
I do, but I have an 8-year-old son, and so if I go, and like last year, I didn't think straight, and when my agent put this run of shows together, there were 9 or 10 shows back to back, but in different cities every day.
Oh, right.
You must have done this before, right?
Yeah. So you're just going all over the place, zigzagging.
And I also just really struggle with being home away for more than about 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
I really miss my kids.
Yeah.
And I like that routine. I like being a mum. I find it really lovely. And I did a lot of it, and I did some stuff abroad as well, and that's the only drawback, I think, is that travel. It can be a bit draining. But live, it's the best.
Yeah, really? You like it that much?
Yeah, because you never get the same thing. I mean, you do live radio every day.
Oh, yeah.
Every show is different.
Yeah.
You think it's going to be the same.
But you're not get nervous because you're in front of an audience. You know, it's noise. And obviously, I was going to think about people wanting stuff for free. I was going to say, actually, for artists like you who have a very loyal fan base, they are more than happy to even buy different formats, and the coloured
they're
vinyl.
amazing
and
like that, yeah.
Artists like you kind of have those fans that are like, we'll pay for this, definitely.
Because I think they instinctively understand that is how I keep doing it.
Yeah.
It's a cottage industry, effectively.
But do you think the nerves going out in front of a few thousand people, is that gone now?
No, it's always there.
Really?
Yeah, you stop doing it if you don't get nervous.
Even though you know that they're all there because they want to be there to see you, and they want you to win.
Yeah,
you still feel.
Yeah, because there's always... It's funny talking about Brexit. I have had to stop talking about it at gigs because sometimes I misjudge the audience.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
You play some of the more Brexity parts of the country.
Fatally, yeah. And you get hecklers, and so you have to learn to deal with it, yeah. Even though they're there for your music. Yeah, and occasionally you get the odd, very sort of like sniffy email about you not talking about politics on stage. So.
Wow, shut up and sing.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, I've learned over the years, if you're a musician, you're not really meant to have a view on politics, and you're not meant to have a view on other people's music.
Oh.
So you can't talk about anything. But you're allowed to say something's fantastic.
Yeah.
But if you have any issues with anything,
you can't. If you're critical of another artist, someone goes, "Yeah, but your second album was it gets a little bit. People can have a dig back." But you're not allowed to mention politics. That's interesting.
I think over the years people have realised that I'm quite interested in it, and I'm going to chat about it. And obviously, every now and then I write songs that sort of touch on that.
Yeah, of course.
But I think a lot of people come to music to escape, and fair enough.
Yeah.
Especially in the last couple of years, I've used music to sort of the music I love has taken me away from all the nonsense on the news.
Have you seen there's two films we talk about quite a lot? The Dixie Chicks, Shut Up and Sing. Have you seen that documentary?
Yeah.
It's great, where she slags off. She just makes a passing
comment. And they almost kill their career.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Set them back years, and there were record burnings. Yeah. But the other one is the Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young film. I can't remember what it's called, but Neil Young, when the second Gulf War was going on, so maybe about 2004, writes an album called Living with War. It's got songs like Let's Impeach the President for lying and stuff like that. And he phones up Crosby, Stills and Nash and says, I've written this album about war. I think it'd be great if the four of us went out and toured it. And so they tour these vast arenas, and everyone's expecting all of the hits. And they go out and they play this anti-war, anti-Bush album. And, in New York and LA, people are going, yeah, this is great. But then they swing through the southern states with all the rednecks.
Yep.
And the audience walks out. There's a brilliant shot of this guy with a big beard just with his middle fingers up at the band. F you, Neil Young! It's an incredible film. And the four of them are obviously having the time of their lives in their 60s, kicking people up the arse.
Alienating a load of
alienating a lot of them. But do you know what? Give me your address and I'll send you a copy of it, because it's an amazing film.
Is it Deja Vu?
That's one of the albums.
That might be
a documentary.
That might be it, yeah. I'll send you a copy
I'd
of it.
love to see that.
What I'm trying to do is I want you to go out and do a politics show. No, it's just so exciting seeing how...
It'll just be you in the audience, Iain. Just you and Kath.
Giving you that. F you, Nerina!
But they're old enough to not give us stuff, aren't they?
Also they're multi-millionaires.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
But the joy in the glee that these older men... Neil Young says, look, there are no musicians making any political stands. We did it 30 years ago. It looks like we're going to have to do it again.
Yeah.
Why are you surprised they're doing it again?
But you get heckled, gosh.
Yeah, I mean, it's generally always benign heckling. No one's ever been truly awful. And then you learn you have to kind of gauge it and pull back a bit. But it does strike me, that it's interesting that anybody else can talk about politics, but if you're in the creative sphere, you're meant to shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're the elite. Lovies.
I suppose so.
Lovies. We get that, don't we?
Well, people. Well, I mean, we are the mainstream media. This station is owned by Murdoch. This is, and we fall slightly out, significantly out of that sphere. But people phone up and say you're the mainstream media. I have no argument against it because of who owns us.
Yeah, but all you can say is we get no edict from on high saying what we have to say.
You would say
exactly, and you can't win in that.
034. I should do some adverts really because I've missed
maybe a couple. Yeah.
I missed two. 03444 499 1000. This is Iain Lee, Catherine Boyle. We've got Nerina Pallot here, and we're just sitting having a chat. If you want to join in, you're very welcome. This is Talk Radio.
Tales of mystery and imagination on the radio show that does things differently.
Dolly Parton, I listen to a record all day long.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
I'm a nut job, but not that kind of nut job.
On Talk Radio.
Honest to God, it's the new Breaking Bad. Oh, no.
Iain Lee, who are you?
Catherine Boyle.
Yes, and Nerina Pallot is here. It's always lovely to see you. Thank you for coming.
I like how you say my voice, like it's a bit deeper.
Yeah, it's because I think you're funny. You're brilliant.
Yeah, and who are you? I get.
Disappointed that you were texting Kath about coming in and you weren't texting me about coming in. That would have made my day. But Kath's going, I'm getting texts from Nerina.
No, I won't give you her number.
No, I'm not like that. I think you're fab. I think you're brilliant. I can't look at you when I say that. But we were talking before we came on about Catherine and I have just finished watching Surviving R. Kelly, which is this 6-part documentary, and I've just got it. It starts on the February the 5th, Tuesday, February the 5th, but it's on the Crime and Investigation channel. I mean, what even? And maybe that was what we were watching today with those made up murders. Do you remember we watched?
Oh my God, no, that was the Sony channel.
Anyway, so it starts, and we've got the producer coming on tomorrow to talk about it. It is the most. I mean, it's the most horrific stories. It's him having sex with 14-year-old girls and bullying 16-year-old girls into having sex with 14-year-old girls.
All the stuff that he denies.
All the stuff, he denies, but
there's a lot of women coming forward with very similar stories.
Manipulation, indoctrination. Call me daddy. You have to ask him if it's okay to go and pee. If you disobey him, according to these women in this thing, if you disobey him, you don't get to eat for 2 or 3 days. It's horrendous.
He cuts them off from their family, takes their phones.
It's horrendous. And I do not understand why this is not the biggest story in showbiz at the moment. Why, because it's been out in America for a couple of weeks. It's going to be on this strange channel over here. But no one's talking about it. How the hell is this man not in prison? I mean, it's incredible. He dodged the bullet with the whole sex tape 10 years ago, and there was a girl who was 14, possibly 16, where he urinated on her, as if that makes it any better.
But the
horrific story.
The get out in court was, that wasn't me, and she said it wasn't her.
The get out in court was, that was my brother. And his brother's like,
whoa,
what?
And he probably paid her off, hadn't he?
Well,
she's still with him.
That's a suspicion.
She's still with him. She's still with him.
The family still have ties, and they hang out. And
it's a little bit Michael Jackson, isn't it? When you think about those kids and the family's complicity in it and everything.
Yeah. Well, the thing with Kelly is that he would just get the girls with him and then stop them even speaking to their family. And there's a great couple, Angelo and Alice Casey. They pop up in the last 2 episodes.
I've got it here.
Clary.
Mm-hmm.
They've not seen the girl for nearly 3 years, since she turned 18. The day she turned 18, she just went and is now living with R. Kelly, and they've not.
This is all still going on.
It's all still going on, and they've not seen her. And the dignity with which they hold themselves, but there's also this rage within them. And they find there's a shot where they find out where they think her daughter is, and they go to the building, and no one will let them in, and they call the police, and the police say, "Well, we can't do anything. You're saying she's in there, and she wants to be in there.
She's 18."
It's bleak. It's really bleak.
But the conclusion the documentary comes to is it comes down to the fact that we're talking about black girls.
Yeah.
If they were white girls in there, there would be a huge fuss about it. But one of the guys on there said, if you want to kill someone and get away with it, make it a black man in America. And if you want to do a sex crime, a black woman, because no one cares. And we're talking about how many girls were there? They were
15, easily.
But you know what? There was a story in the papers a few days ago. There's a couple of girls missing. They're about 14 and 15 at the moment. They're British and they're black. And it's literally, if it was in the actual paper, it would probably be on page 25. Okay. But if you go on the actual website, all the comments say, why is this not a news story? And a few people have said, well, because they're not white kids. And then if you look at a missing persons list, either in the UK or in America, there are tons of kids at any time missing. And the only ones that make the news are the photogenic little white girls.
Yeah, the cute white girls.
Yeah.
And that's always been the way. And I remember sort of piecing that together about 15 years ago, going, hang on, I see a pattern here, and I kind of looked into it a little bit. And you
have to ask the question, like with Madeleine McCann.
Yeah.
If she was a black kid, would there still be news about her?
Yeah.
And it is really, really troubling that there's that sort of currency with missing children.
Of course, and every missing child should be treated as an equal. They're right. There are hundreds of missing kids, and we hear about 2 or 3 of them. And you just think for the poor families who must be so frustrated that they can't get their story heard.
Yeah.
And that frustration comes out in this R. Kelly thing with a lot of the families going, it's because they're black.
Yeah.
It's because they're black girls.
He's a famous rich man.
Yeah.
It's like the Weinstein thing. It was very hard, even though there was tons of evidence for so long. And it's just, they have so much
money
power.
buys you justice in the States and over here.
Another factor in this documentary was, and, they're saying race plays a massive part in this. Not only, they said that large swathes of the black community are complicit because it's like, he's a strong, powerful black man, that's why they're trying to bring him down.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are, and including some of the survivors said, I felt that way. That's why I was standing outside he was apparently picking girls up while he was coming out of court for the first
one of the girls, so he's in court for the tape, and there's a 14-year-old girl there who's like cheering him on and there with posters saying leave R. Kelly alone, and he starts chatting to her, and 2 years later he kind of calls her up and says, hey, I remember you're the chick outside the court, why don't you come over to my house? And it just continues. And
she's still there now.
She got out. A lot of them got out. Okay, I think you're ready for this. Let's put your headphones on. We're going to speak to Rainbow George.
Okay.
I think Nerina's in a position to deal with this.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Hello, Rainbow George.
Hello, good evening. This is really nice to join the three of you.
It must be. Are you aware of Nerina's work?
No.
Oh, you should check it out, man. Check it out. She's brilliant. Brilliant singer-songwriter.
How is her surname spelled?
Pallot.
Right. I will check.
I think you'll like it.
Could I give Nerina a present?
Oh.
Okay. Well, is it okay? Yes, you can. Don't give whatever you do. Don't give him your email address or your contact details.
Okay.
He's harmless, but he's relentless. Go on. What would you like to give her, George? Of course you can.
It's a draft for a song lyric. I really think she might like it. I sent it to her in an email a little bit.
Well, careful, George, because we're barraging her tonight. She's already got Yo, We're Wow to work on. And now this.
I am in the middle of writing a record at the moment as well.
Oh, hang on. I've just seen you've sent me it's not in the stroppy email you've just sent me, is it, George?
That wasn't stroppy.
Sorry, you dismiss me as just being a pothead. I don't dismiss you as being a pothead.
Yes, you do.
No, well...
He takes it into account.
I consider it, as I was a pothead for a long, long time. I take it into account. Pothead's not a phrase I would ever use.
No, but you bring it into every conversation nowadays.
No, literally don't. Anyway, let's not make it weird when Nerina's here. We can make it weird when she's gone.
I don't mind weird.
Okay. Well, let's go weird.
It's the other email.
I think I might have deleted that one. Let me.
No, you wouldn't have done.
Ooh.
It's a lyric called "Wake Up to a Dream."
Is it? Oh gosh, here we go. Wake up to a dream. Okay, let's have a little look. See, George, a song of songs. Wake up to a dream. Wake up to a dream of an end to government, a world of wonders, with a one-world loverment.
Okay, interesting rhyme. I like it.
That looks after the needs of one and all, however great,
however small.
We got it.
I knew it.
Wake up to a dream of lovers everywhere, walking hand in hand, dancing, singing, feeling grand. Wake up to a dream in which we people all know of the Captain Rainbow who directs our show. Wake up to a dream.
Thank you. That was really nice.
Thank you.
No, I want to change a few words, but maybe not. It sounded okay.
I can imagine that, Nerina, you at the piano in front of an audience.
Like Imagine.
Yeah.
It's very Imagine.
Cambridge Corn Exchange, ladies and gentlemen. Here's a new song that I wrote with my new writing partner, George.
Rainbow.
Well, I'd like to gift it to Nerina. I don't want anything out of it. Sorry?
Every time, George. You come on, you give someone else your homework to do.
Well, is it homework? I'm circulating a lyric, and I just want different music people to put their own musical interpretation to it, and
it's a beautiful lyric.
Circulated.
When the decorators, it's not a euphemism. When the decorators have left my house, I will find the tapes that you've asked me to return in your slightly aggressive email, and I will return those tapes.
Oh no, it wasn't aggressive.
In your opinion, it felt aggressive.
It wasn't meant to be aggressive.
Okay, that's okay. I accept that. It came across as that.
I mean,
maybe consider that.
I mean, Nerina, Iain and I met. How long ago would it be?
I'm getting the feeling this is a long-standing relationship.
Oh, very long.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No.
Very long.
Okay. All right, George. Listen, we've got to go because we've got the news.
Yeah, we can't go on the other side of the news.
No, thank you. Because we've got Nigel from Maidstone after the news, which you really do want to hear. Can you stick around for a bit longer?
Yes, I'd love
we've
to.
Got not only have we got lyrics for you, we've got your opening act coming up. 03444991000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Looking out for anything, my boat had just set sail. I was flying as the wind prevailed. What did you think you were doing? I couldn't shake loose, not from you. I couldn't shake loose, now I don't mind. Put your hands up, say you won't stop.
game. During that song, I ran down to the car to get an Imani CD for Nerina Pallot's here, because you kind of, I guess, when was your first hit?
2000. Oh no, first hit. 2006.
When was
I put an album out around the same time as Imani.
Right. Okay.
So I was aware of her, and I think I bought that out. It was really good. It was really unusual.
Album.
Yeah. Legend of a Cowgirl.
She got bored of being a pop. She did the first album, and Columbia Records said, "We want you to do more of that and more sampling. We like it when you sample 60s songs." And she went, I don't really want to do that, and I'm not really enjoying the pop star thing. It's not what I thought it would be, so I'm going to go and do some stuff on my own, thanks very much. And she walked away from it.
But she's still doing music,
She's
right?
still doing music.
Yeah.
She released it. I mean, she's absolutely nuts, and we love Imani. She's been on the show a few times. You've got to hover over the dump button.
She's a real...
She's brilliant.
People use this term a lot, but she's a real free spirit, you know, and you'll know her within 10 minutes of talking to her. And she's one of those people that when she's talking to you, you feel like she's looking right into your soul, you know. She's really perceptive, isn't she?
She's great. I love her so much. And she lives in New York, and when we went and did the show over there, she invited us over. And when I went over there last time with my boys, she said, "Oh, you're in town. Let me take the boys out." And she took us to see a film that was not really age appropriate, but that was, but it was
she
brilliant.
Wouldn't have thought of it like that.
No, and the boys just totally fell in love with her, and she just releases these incredible albums to kind of a very small, hardcore audience. But she's stunning. So I just thought you might enjoy that. There might be a few tracks on there that you might dig. Nerina Pallot is here. Well, you're not here to talk business. Let's talk a little bit of business. So, not touring now.
Yes, I am actually.
Oh, are you?
It's a really odd thing. It was summer when I accepted this. My agent said, "Why don't you go to Scotland and do a little mini tour?"
Oh,
in February.
Hey, that's going to be chilly, isn't it? Take your thermals.
So at the end of Feb, I'm up. I'm doing Bute, Inverness, Aberdeen, and Dundee.
Oh, fantastic! Though.
So that should be fun. So it's just like a mini tour, and then I'm doing a few London shows. What day are we today? 16th.
Yeah.
So in a couple of weeks, but I think they're all sold out apart from one of them. Have you been to Zedell?
No.
It's a beautiful venue in Piccadilly, Brasserie Zedell, but they have this cabaret.
Oh, really?
Sort of venue inside it. It's not very big, but it's fantastic. It's called the Crazy Coqs Cabaret.
I'm amazed you haven't heard of it.
It's spelled COQ, everybody.
Oh. See, thank you. Put your smutty jokes away.
I got it in before you did. I'm not going to say that.
You'd love to get a crazy cock in, wouldn't you?
Oh my
no, that was too
God.
far. That was too far.
I mean,
that was too far. She made me. You're a witness, Nerina. She made me say that.
She didn't.
She made me say that. Are there still tickets for that?
I think there are a few. Oh, if you guys want to come, the last show.
Yeah.
I've got a few tickets, but the other two are sold out.
I wouldn't hassle you for comps. We'd pay.
But it depends if you're doing a show.
Well, what time are you finishing? Could you finish a little bit earlier?
No,
Could we sneak out
the
halfway?
Second set I go on at 9. It's not going to really work for you.
What date? Well, we'll look because
31st of Jan.
I'm not averse to. We've taken days off for concerts.
I can bring your favourite songs forward. If you just send me an email.
Yeah, all the hits at the front. Yeah. Bring the encore to the front, please.
Yeah.
That's.
So Thursday. Not that makes any difference.
Let's just take it off.
If you want to come, you're doing this on air. What, you're going to throw a sickie?
No, just say
it. Well, we wouldn't have been. Here's the thing. Years ago,
press the mute button.
About 10 years ago, I'm a big fan of the Bare Naked Ladies. Right? I know they're not a cool band, but I love them. And about 10 years ago, I was doing a show on LBC, and two of them came in, including one of them was called Stephen Page. And at the end of it, they said, "Oh, we really enjoyed the interview. You're going to come to the gig on Friday?" And I said, "Nah, man, I can't. I've got to do this. I'll catch you next time you come round." So after that tour, Stephen Page left the band, and and ever since then, it's been like, if there's a good gig that I may not get to see again, I'm quite happy to take a day off work.
Although Nerina's very unlikely to break up with herself.
Exactly.
She falls out.
I had my moment.
We'll have a chat. If we don't do it this time, we will come and see you, because we saw you at the Hospital Club, was it?
That was the album showcase,
wasn't
it? Yeah.
That was lovely.
It was very hot that day, wasn't it?
Very hot. You wanted some air conditioning, you see.
That's right. And then someone started nudging me and saying, Dave Stewart's in the audience. And I'd always heard it because he owns that place. Oh. But I always thought it was a bit apocryphal and that he never actually had anything to do with it. And then the moment someone told me Dave Stewart was watching the gig, I was like, I just ruined it for me.
Wow. Was he? I did see a guy wearing a massive silver hat that was spinning round in different directions. Do you remember when he did that once on the Brits or something? Do you remember the hat he wore?
He wasn't wearing that at the gig.
He wasn't wearing that at the gig. Was he there? Wow.
Yeah, apparently. And I mean, just it's a horror when someone whose music has been a massive...
Yeah.
You know, the Eurythmics... He and Annie Lennox were massive.
What a voice, man.
Yeah.
She's got such a great voice, and I don't think... Well, maybe she does get credit for it. I don't really follow the credit givers from...
I think
but
she does.
I think everyone knows she's a pretty amazing
voice,
singer.
isn't she?
Yeah.
So who are you? So you're doing some shows, and a new album. Is anything happening?
I'm writing it at the moment. I'm in the studio. What are we? 3 weeks time. So
oh wow!
Yeah, I'm starting to tracking. But I have no idea, apart from that.
Is there a vibe to it? Is there like a sort of theme for the songs?
I've got a theme lyrically and a theme visually. I know I had an idea, I'm not going to say any more than that.
Okay, no, don't.
And I'm going to try and pin it around a concept.
Is it Brexit?
No.
Is it Trump?
No.
Because your last album was...
I'm with him, I just pretend he doesn't exist.
The last album was Dirty.
Denial. Was it Dirty?
There was a couple of filthy songs in there about... Basically, there was a song, and I can't remember the exact lyrics, but it was basically come up to the bedroom...
Come back to bed.
Come and give me one.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
That's what it was.
You say that's dirty.
I think it's filth. I think it's disgusting, and it shouldn't be. I don't want that in my pop songs. I want holding hands and skipping.
It's like your boy said, why are so many songs about love?
Yeah, it's true.
Some aren't, man.
But can you imagine songs about Brexit? No one wants a song about Brexit, do they?
No one does.
Mike Reid would do one.
Mike Reid did a UKIP Calypso, didn't he?
What?
Remember Mike Reid, the DJ? Gave me my first ever pork pie. That's a truth.
UKIP Calypso?
YouTube it, I mean, it's something...
No.
I wonder if... Hang on a minute.
Oh, my God. I know he did an Oscar Wilde musical, didn't he?
Yes, he did!
But it's
That's my favourite thing, and it opened one night, and then it closed.
I know.
Was that inspired by Cliff doing Heathcliff? The Oscar Wilde thing.
Here we go. Right. Headphones on, guys. Headphones on. Here we go. This is UKIP Calypso. Here we go.
I can't believe this.
And remember, this is... Mike Reid, not an actual Jamaican, yes.
When we're in power and we engage, there'll be no tax on the minimum wage. Leaders committed a cardinal sin. Open the borders, let them all come.
In what world did he think that was acceptable?
Stand up and be counted.
Is it like all the radio 1 DJs from the 1980s got together and said, we're going to just ruin that period of great radio. We're going to kiddie fiddle, be racist, be UKIPers.
Just say, of course, Mike Reid is not a kiddie fiddler. His only crime. Well, no, he's got 2 crimes. One was releasing that. The other one was hosting an evening with Chevy Chase and ruining it.
Talking about tennis.
He hosted an evening at Hammersmith Odeon where it was him interviewing Chevy Chase, the comedian, actor.
I love Chevy Chase.
But didn't talk to him about, so what was it like doing National Lampoon or what was it like doing Caddyshack?
It was more about him trying to court Chevy Chase as his friend, I think. It was like, so I'm really good at tennis. How are you at tennis? I hear you play at tennis. It's like, who's got me to talk about tennis?
Chevy Chase, original drummer in Steely Dan.
No, what?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, when they were all at college together. I think they were all at Bard.
How funny.
And Chevy Chase was in the first sort of configuration of Steely Dan.
How funny.
Yeah.
I wonder if they kicked him out for being an a-hole. Because nobody, you speak to anybody who's worked with Chevy Chase, no one has a good word to say about him. Bill Murray, you constantly refuse.
What, he's just nasty?
Got into cocaine in a big way.
Yeah.
And, you know, cocaine is a very, very nasty...
No one ever got nicer on coke.
No, exactly.
It's true. But got into it a lot. And just... There's a brilliant quote from Bill Murray. Well, they all became famous during Saturday Night Live. And Bill Murray said, look, you've got 2 years of becoming super famous where you become an a-hole, right? And you've got 2 years to get over that and go back to being a nice person. And if you don't do it within those 2 years, you're an a-hole for the rest of your life. And he
missed the deadline.
He missed the deadline, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, thoroughly unpleasant gentleman, apparently. But a comedy genius.
How did Mike Reid fare with that then? Did Chevy Chase come out of it well? Because then that's worrying,
yeah,
isn't it?
Chevy Chase came out of it like the gentleman.
Like a hero. We had people phoning... It was a big thing, people phoning up that night going, I just spent 35 quid on a ticket and I don't know what I saw. It was lousy.
They said it was the most uncomfortable night ever, but I think I loved it.
Let's see if we can turn this into the most uncomfortable night ever. Good evening, Nigel!
Oh, hi, guys, all right?
Hello, Nigel. I thought you were going to start with a Frank Spencer or something.
Well, no, I'm a bit tired tonight.
OK,
I'm
too tired for Frank.
Actually.
Have you been on your bike?
Yeah, I did another 20 miles. I suppose it would make you tired at my age, wouldn't it? 70.
You're not 70.
I'm 70 now.
When was your birthday?
No, I'm 60, nearly 62.
Great joke. Always a great joke to pretend you're just over 8 years older than you actually are. Oh, Nigel. We've got Nerina Pallot here.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, Nigel. How are you doing?
Well, apart from being tired, but I had some good news tonight. I sold my mum's watch and ring after she died. Because you didn't know my mum died, did you?
Yes, we did.
No, the lady...
Narina was unaware that Nigel's mum passed away.
I'm so sorry, Nigel.
Not too long ago.
I didn't really want to sell her a gold watch and a gold ring. I got £60 for the two, which wasn't bad, really.
No, why? Can I ask why you decided to sell it?
Because I was short. I haven't got enough money for food until next week.
Mate.
So, yeah, I was down to quite a low percentage of money.
Where did where did you £60 sounds a little light for such treasures? Where did you take it? Don't name the place, but what kind of place was it?
No. A friend of mine who lives in the village where I live, he's got an antique shop. And he knows all about these things. But the watch was only gold. The watch was gold, but the chain wasn't.
Okay.
The actual bracelet wasn't.
Okay. Well, that's a shame. That's a shame. But they're just things, aren't they?
They're things that were just wasting away on the table. So
okay.
I thought,
if you could make better use of it in that way, then I
need the
so.
money, of course. Yeah, I need the money. But I've still got my mum's wedding ring she gave me in hospital, and I won't never give that away.
I think that's probably right to keep.
I wear it in bed as well, to keep in contact with mum somehow.
Now listen,
it's with me.
Nerina is a singer. One of my favourite singers. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Nerina.
I wondered, do you feel like singing us a song tonight?
Well, I got a song ready, "Saving All My Love for You" by Whitney Houston. I was going to do. I got that ready.
I love that song.
Are you going to do it? Were you a fan of Whitney?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's a lovely song. It's not too noisy for the time of night.
Are you going to sing it live, or are you going to play a tape?
I'm going to sing it live.
Here we go. Then listen, away you go, Nigel. This is your time to shine.
Shall I do it now then?
Yes, please, mate. Thank you.
I was on Opportunity Knocks once. Years ago.
Yes, no, okay.
That's a long time ago.
I was in the audience of Swap Shop once, but anyway, that's true. Okay, let's have it.
Okay, I'll talk about that another time.
Yeah.
Here we go. Enjoy.
We will. No one can look at each other in this room.
A few stolen moments is all that we share. You've got your family and they need you there. Though I try to resist being last on your list, but no other man's gonna do. It's not very easy living all alone. My friends try to tell me, find a woman of your own. But each time I try, I just break down and cry. 'Cause I'd rather be home feeling blue.
Come on, Nigel.
'Cause I'm saving all my love for you.
Go, take it to the bridge. Let's hear it.
You used to tell me we run away together, but love gives you the right to be free. You said be patient, just wait a little longer, but that's just an old fantasy. Oh, yeah. I'm saving all my love for you. Saving all my love for you, yeah. Makes me feel the way I do. 'Cause tonight is the night for feeling alright. 'Cause we're making love the whole night through. So I'm saving all my love.
Here we go.
Yeah, I'm saving all my
It's a
love.
long song.
It's got a lot of love.
Saving all my love for you. Oh, yeah. Saving all my love for you. Baby, saving all my love. Baby, saving all my love for you.
Hey, come on, Nigel.
Thank you.
Don't save it for too long, otherwise.
Thank you very much.
Go off.
No, that was brilliant, Nigel. What did you think, Nerina?
I thought it was lovely. Nigel, is Whitney Houston one of your favourite singers?
Yeah, she used to be. Yeah, she used to be once. But I still enjoy her songs, of course. Nobody to replace Whitney, was there really?
Nobody.
That was her first big hit, wasn't it?
Pardon?
That was her first big hit, I think.
Yes, it was one of.
What was the one? Wasn't Where Did I Want to Dance with Somebody? That's the one I first noticed.
That was June the 4th, 1987. It was number one, and the reason I know that, it was number one the day my sister was born.
Hey! There we
I
go.
just rebought that album on CD because I only had it on tape.
There you go. You
Does
see.
Nerina know I'm a drummer?
She does.
Oh yeah, Iain did mention it. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, well, I think I was on Opportunity Knocks about 30 years ago, drumming with an organist. I was, because I got the letter. Yeah, I was on Opportunity Knocks with Huey Green. You know.
Okay. Well, thank you for that, Nigel. That little
But
scene.
anyway, that's a long time ago.
It certainly is. It certainly is.
Thank you, Nerina, for listening. And
it was a pleasure.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I really
It's very
did.
nerve-wracking singing live too, isn't it?
What was that? Sorry, I missed that.
It's nerve-wracking singing live.
Yeah, it is. But do you know what? I think when I was listening to you, as you kept singing, the more and more you got more and more confident, didn't you?
Yeah, yes. Once I get into singing, after a while, if I was doing a concert, probably after the first song, I'd probably get a bit better after the next.
Yeah,
song.
you relax a bit, don't you? And then it's easier.
Yeah, and you've got to fight. You have to get into the mood as well, don't you?
Got to get into the moods. This is why a lot of artists, not suggesting you doing it, but a lot of artists turn to drugs to try and fake the moods. Don't turn to drugs, Nigel.
No.
Okay, thanks very much.
All right, cheers, bye-bye.
Bye, Nigel.
Bye-bye, there we go, you see. There we go. He's great, isn't he? He's great.
He's really brave. Not many people would do that, would they? Live
Sometimes
on
if he does
radio.
it too loud, he has to do softer songs because his neighbours bang on the wall and tell him to shut up. If he's doing it during the show. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
It's electric, it's eclectic, it's always rule-free. It's the late-night alternative with that man, Iain Lee.
On Talk Radio.
And Nerina just brought up when Chris came on the show. You may remember, dear listener, Chris came on just before Christmas, and he was a gentleman that we established pretty quickly had taken a massive overdose, and he was very, very ill, and it was touch and go. And it was horrific from our perspective because there was a point. It went on for 30 minutes. There was a point for 6-7 minutes where he didn't say anything, and we thought he died. And I cannot say how upsetting and how just how upsetting it was. Thinking I might be talking to someone who's not there anymore. Wish the police would hurry up. It's horrendous, you know.
Imagine what 999 call.
Well, this is the
responders go through.
This is the thing, you know. Some people very, very kindly labelled us as heroes and said, "No, it's not us. It's the coppers that turned up. It's the person you spoke to on the 999. It's the ambulance who deal with this every single day, multiple times a day, quite often." And we had, interestingly enough, I had a few 999 operators get in touch and say, I can have that 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day, that exact same call.
And this time of year especially. Yeah.
And I burst into tears when the coppers turned up. We were exhausted from it, you know, just once. And these people are dealing with it all the time. The 999 operators are proper...
They're incredible. I spoke to about 3 that night because we'd finished the conversation. They gave me a sort of a number to report it, and they said, if you get any more, give us a call. So I was ringing in stages, really, as we got more and more stuff, and they were just fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, calming me down to the point where I could target what I was saying, because I'm kind of listening across and thinking, my God, this is awful, and we're responsible for this guy. That's what it felt like, wasn't it? All of a sudden we were responsible.
And you
for
weren't
it.
physically there either, which is hard.
Such a long way.
Yeah.
But this is the joy of doing this show, right? Doing this slot is that, OK, that was a very, very extreme example. But the fact that we get people like Nigel who feel that, and Chris, who feel that they can kind of trust us. There's something magic about nighttime, which is why I think pop concerts happen at nighttime, why this is a great slot. There's something magical that happens. There's a connection that you get that you couldn't get, you know, a pop concert at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, that's great. Do you miss being the pop star? Because you were a pop star, weren't you, for a while?
About 2 minutes, and I didn't really like it at all. Yeah, I found it very odd.
Yeah.
And it was, for me, I think it was a thing of be careful what you wish for.
Right.
And I'm thinking back, when I think about what I wished for, all I remember is saying to my mum, I want to go on Top of the Pops. And once I got on Top of the Pops, I was like, well, done it now.
Top of the Pops is a bit tatty, isn't it? I've been to the studio. It's a little bit...
But it was still Top of the Pops.
Yeah.
Yeah, for someone who's grown up watching sort of Kate Bush and stuff, you think that's the pinnacle.
What was the point when you realised that you'd made that transition from budding singer-songwriter in Nerina at the piano to actually being, you know, kind of public property and a star?
Oh, well, I never had that level of profile.
Right.
I had a moment, I think around the Brit Awards and that sort of stuff, but... I never felt comfortable with telly. And you have to feel comfortable with telly. And I would just find it... I mean, you've done telly a lot, right? It's a different world.
Yeah, completely.
It's a very different world from radio. And this is going to kill my telly if I ever had a telly career. It's a bit fake, isn't it?
Oh, it's horrendous.
Yeah.
It's horrendous, and you know, again, doing this kind of show, we can have you in for an hour and 40 minutes.
I was about to say, there's no depth to telly.
No,
even, and I've done some supposedly in-depth things for telly, but you're still doing things in bite size, and things have to be presentable in a certain way. And I just really struggle with it.
I'm sure you've done that kind of talking heads thing where they get you there to talk about an artist or a year or whatever. And you're there for an hour and a half and you sit and you talk and you've got all this wisdom, and then you watch it on the telly and they use about 30 seconds of you cut in between.
And the worst bits.
Yeah. And you're left with the feeling of, oh, was I crap then?
Yeah.
I thought that other thing was, I don't know. I don't know what they want.
I had a kind of a TV career that ended really about 14 years ago, and then I got into radio. I was lucky enough to get into radio, and then I did I'm a Celebrity, and that kind of kicked off a sort of a second sort of TV career. And naively, I bought into all the bullshit again. I bought into all the people coming up going, "Well, we think you're great, and we've got the project for you. We've got a great series for you that's going to work on Channel 4." And stupidly, I bought into it. All that excitement, of course, I've not seen any of these people since, you know, these people that promised me great things. I've not seen any of them. And it's
this is reminding me of a meeting I had with a TV producer about 2 years ago, and his parting words was, "Right, great, let's get you on the telly."
Yeah, and what happened?
Never heard from him ever again.
No, all of that. And I came up before Christmas, I had a real, oh man, I fell for it again kind of thing, you know. And here's the thing. If you don't think this is going to work, just say to me, "I don't think this is going to work," and that'll be fine. But someone's saying to you, "We're going to get you on the telly, Nerina. I've got a great project for you." Then nothing.
Yeah, I'm curious. You know, I'm a Celebrity.
Yes.
What we see, because I've never met anybody who's been on it before.
Ask me anything you want.
When did you watch yourself back, and did you feel it was a reflection of what
I've not
happened?
watched it back. I can't. I've watched the stunts, the trials.
Yeah.
Because I watched the trials I watched a lot of them in an airport, just because they were up in like 2-minute bite-sized chunks on YouTube. When I was flying off to see my sister in New Zealand, I've watched that because I wanted to see how they made. You know, there's one where I'm 100 feet up in the air and I hate heights, and I had to jump and grab this thing, and they kept saying, "You can jump and grab this thing and you won't fall. You've got a harness and you won't drop. You just got to hold on." And of course, I didn't realise they'd attached me to a bungee rope, so I jumped and I fell 80 feet. And
that's
I really thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to die.
Oh my God.
And then I bounced back up and I just went, "Oh, you know," and it was the thing. So I've watched those because that was excited, but I've not watched any of the campsite.
And was the edit a fair representation of what happened?
Well, I was really surprised, because that trial, for example, took like 40 minutes, and it's cut down to 2 minutes. Naively, I'm thinking, where's the rest of it? And it's cut down to 2 minutes, and it was a whole 40-minute thing. So, I mean, it's a fair representation, but it just looks a lot slicker on TV.
Yeah.
I didn't watch any of the campsite stuff because I didn't enjoy the campsite particularly. I didn't enjoy a lot of the people. And I just don't feel the need to watch the soap opera of it. But, yeah, it's the stunts are a fair thing of it.
It's weird, isn't it?
You saw it.
Yeah.
Did you feel that Iain was Iain?
Yes.
You did?
I did. I mean, OK, it was the edited version, and there was definitely a narrative that they wanted to portray. But, my God.
You hated it, because a lot of them were...
I wanted to march in there and,
there was
bang heads. You watch your best mate being subjected to that kind of treatment by people who don't know him and are making all these kind of assumptions. It really annoyed me.
There was a lot of...
I thought he was brilliant. I was really proud of him.
It was a lot of very sporty people, and then I go in late.
It was
which
like
is always
school.
tough, and I'm kind of the geeky computer game book reading. They kept saying, "So who's your team?" So I don't like football. Oh, okay. What's your sport? I'm not really into sport. Oh, so what do you do? But I had that conversation with one of them 6 times. Like 2 days later, Scott, who's your team? I don't have a team. And I made the mistake of saying that while I was in Australia, I'd been to see a magician. So then they would keep going, oh, so Iain, you're really into magic? I said, no, I just saw a magician. It was weird. Here's the thing you don't get on there is it's really boring.
Yeah, I can imagine it's really boring.
You've got no books, you've got no pens, you've got with the same people, and I was playing a lot of word games with Fizz from Coronation Street. Jenny, we're just playing word games.
That's a really surreal thing. I mean, you can see why it works as a format, can't you? Do you know Terry Christian?
Yeah, of course.
So Terry did Celebrity Big Brother, and I remember we did a TV show together, and he was telling me the stories off air that never made it. And there was this, I can't remember it, but it basically involved Vernon Troyer and sex dwarfs or something. It was just the most amazing.
There are moments. There was a stunt we had to do, and it was the stunts at night I hated, because you just wanted to sleep, and you knew that you were going to get a few hours sleep, and you'd be covered in crap and you'd stink. But there was one. It was about midnight, and it was me. We're in the back of a black cab. They set up a black cab in the middle of a jungle, and it's me, world boxing champion Amir Khan, Boris Johnson's dad, and then Fizz from Coronation Street opposite me.
It was a very random selection that year, wasn't it?
And they were shouting out numbers, and we had to remember numbers whilst having spiders and ants and all these things poured on us. And you couldn't trust, those two were idiots, you couldn't trust it. So it was me and Fizz, me and Jenny were doing it. And there's one point and it's happening, and I just leant over and went, Jenny, my mum will be so proud I'm here with you. She's such a big fan, and this is the weirdest thing. And she went, isn't it? And then we just carried on doing it. And it was that realisation. I'm sat opposite, one of the most famous soap characters. Even my mum will know who she is. In the middle of Australia at midnight, having biting ants poured on my head. It's weird.
Weird, but I can see why it works.
Apparently this series, because we didn't watch it this time around, they were a lot nicer to each other, so I think lessons have been learned.
Yeah.
Because that backfired. I think the idea was, like in Big Brother and stuff, it's the ones that cause the controversy that get the screen time, and so they think that that's the way to do it, and it backfired spectacularly, didn't it, on yours?
I was a nice guy.
Well, you came over very well.
I did one naughty thing in there, which I knew would be entertaining. I stole some food. Because I stole some strawberries. Me and Amir won some strawberries, and we stole them. Because I was thinking, this will be... I spent 40 minutes thinking, will Catherine find this funny if I do this? Because this is going to kick off in the camp.
I found it hilarious. It's like, you idiot, what are you doing? I got a phone call that afternoon. Kath, here's the thing he's done that's stupid. What do you reckon? And then me and the person who tipped me off about it spent about 10 minutes laughing about it.
That was it. I said, well, Kath, laugh. And I just knew, because I know how these shows work, I thought this will be a really big story.
Yeah.
And it'll either get me voted out first, or I'll get a lot of, support for it.
The presenters all loved it. They were like, I've been hoping someone would do that for years.
Naughty. Have you been asked to do any of those kind of things? The Big Brothers, the Jungles?
I've been asked to do the funniest one ever was I was about 8 months pregnant, and I got a message from my TV plugger, and she said, you've been asked to do, would you consider dancing on... No, not dancing, something on ice. I don't know, make a cake on ice. What was the show?
Dancing on Ice?
Yeah, that's the one. She said,
it's like the hardest one.
Okay, so
although make a cake
they were
on
like,
ice,
would you be possibly interested? Would you like to go for a crafting? I was like, well, does it involve ice skating? She said, yeah, of course it involves ice skating. I said, could you tell them I'm 8 months pregnant? So that never happened.
Would you consider something like?
Would I consider it?
That? Because I
don't think I'd be asked, because I don't have enough. I don't think it would be like I might as well be a civilian, really.
You'd be surprised.
No, there are people with less profile than you've had that have been on there, been on those kind of things.
I don't know, because it's just it is a bit of a kind of, it's like a bit of a gladiator ring, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a freak show.
Yeah, and I think it's that world. No.
I did it to plug this show because no one was listening. I did it because my boys had never seen me on TV before, and I thought they're at an age where they'll dig it. Which is mad, because
you were on telly all the time.
But years ago.
No, but I remember you being on telly a lot. Yeah.
I showed my boys a clip of the 11 o'clock show.
I bet they didn't recognise you.
They said, "Who's that?" I said, "It's me." No. Oh. And I did it because I was getting divorced and I needed a big check. That was those are the things. And I'd been asked 4 or 5 times, and then that year I was like, I'm going to go to them and see if that offer still stands.
It's your world. Like, you guys are comfortable doing this all the time.
Yeah.
This is what you do.
Yeah.
I do those things. Under duress is a bit strong, but they're sort of like a byproduct of the thing I do most of the time, which is music.
Your job is I would imagine, a very isolated. The majority of your job is sitting at home writing songs and then going in the studio and recording with a select, literal band around you.
And also, going back to what we were talking about right at the top of this, you've been told in no uncertain terms that people don't want to hear about certain aspects of your opinion and stuff, whereas you've just got to be able to flip the lid and let it all out, haven't you? And I suppose that takes a lot of untraining.
Well, I always resisted media training, but record companies, they love a bit of media training.
Yeah, but you know what? You can smell it a mile off, can't you, media training?
Yeah.
And I think it spoils it because, you've got someone who's interesting and artistic. You want to hear that person. You don't want to hear the version of.
You have to be on brand because the way you make money out of music is cross-branding.
Yeah.
So you can't do anything to, jeopardise the brand that's sponsoring you or this thing. It's about being... Basically, they want people to be everything to all people.
Yeah.
And nobody likes those people. Can you imagine Amy Winehouse doing sponsorship stuff?
No, you want a bit of personality.
I saw her before she got really famous. I think it was in the Frank days, and she was doing the Sony Awards, as were, and I was there as a kind of guest. I think my boss was trying to give me something to aim for. One day this could be yours. And she was up giving an award, and she was handing this award over, and she sort of she went, right, and the award for whatever it was, she went, goes to... Never heard of this guy. But she was real, She was obviously there. She didn't really want to be there. Yeah. She made no bones about letting that show, and I thought she was brilliant.
Yeah.
Marina, we should let you go.
Yes,
school run.
I have. School run beckons in the morning.
Run. Yeah. So nice to see you. Thank you for my lovely, lovely picture.
You're
Going to get that frame this week. That's going up.
Thank you for the
CD. Let's do the stuff that we ought to do on Twitter. Are you just at Nerina Pallot?
I am at Lady Chatterley.
That's it, of course it is.
And I'm so rubbish, I completely forgot to socialise media today and say what I was doing.
I've deleted my Twitter.
Have you?
Yeah.
When did you do that?
This, Sunday, I think.
Why?
Because I hate it. I hate everybody on there.
I had a Brexit spat on there, but it's my fault. I drank a bit of wine on a Monday night. You should never do that.
You should have to use a breathalyser to use your phone after a couple of days.
I will probably you get like a grace period when you can reinstate it, and I probably will reinstate it again. But I'm having issues with Twitter with terms of like addiction to it and
it's just
checking it and a-holes on there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, no, there's not a-holes. I'm on there, but unfortunately...
Well, you're the biggest one. That's why I deleted it. No. Your Brexit rant on Monday caused me...
It's like the people... Like, no one goes online to be nice, do they?
No.
Very few.
Look at comments, it's just bile.
Yeah.
Whenever someone sends me something that I go, oh, gosh, that's out of the blue, I go and check their stream, and if they're just... 9 times out of 10, it's like... Oh, they just have a pop at everyone on there. Yeah. OK, whatever, you can crack on.
But so, at Lady Chatterley.
Yes.
And any websites or anything we should be sending people to?
Well, NerinaPallot.com, but their Facebook.
Facebook is the thing, is it?
The graveyard of modesty.
Yeah.
I am on Facebook.
OK.
and have a website, and I do all that stuff. I'm supposed to do it all. I do it less and less these days.
Come in when you have. Come in any time, but come in when you got the album.
Come in tomorrow for a cup of tea.
You're welcome any time. Honestly, we think you're fab, and we're so thrilled that you wanted to come on.
Here.
So thank you.
I'll make a podcast of this tomorrow, so you can plug that.
Oh, okay.
We continue onwards and upwards. The listener 03444991000. Manny, stay there. We'll come to you in a bit. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
Experience the unconventional,
Evening, boss.
the unpredictable, and the completely unorthodox.
Exactly.
With rule-free Iain Lee. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
I've got no internet for the last 4 days.
On Talk Radio.
Maybe I'm enriching your life. Good evening, dear listener. Hi, welcome to the show. 03444991000 is the telephone number. Go on. Here's my advice. I don't want to say it in front of her. Right, go onto Amazon, go and treat yourself to some Nerina Pallot albums, because here's the thing: the earlier stuff you can get for pennies. You can get for literally pennies.
Fires, Year of the Wolf.
Oh, those are the two. Fires and Year of the Wolf.
But Stay Lucky was brilliant as well.
Year of the Wolf is kind of you're right, you're absolutely right. But Year of the Wolf is kind of like a sort of nod to sort of 60s girl groups, produced by Bernard Butler. Fires is just like, oh jeez. Oh, God, could these songs and could that voice get any more perfect? You know, it's just... But all of her albums are great. Honestly, I wouldn't do the hard sell in front of her because she was embarrassed when we played one of her songs, of course, because she's a good, humble human being. But seriously, go on Amazon. You can buy them for pennies, and it will enrich your life. I got turned on to her by Clive Bull. I think I've told this before. When I was at LBC, Clive Bull kept banging on about this album. It just kept going on about this album to the point where I thought, oh, do you know what? I'm going to have to get this and have a listen to it. And it was Nerina, and it was stunning. Blew me away. She is brilliant. And the fact that she kind of got in touch with us and said, I'm not plugging anything, but could I come on the show? She's painted me a picture. Oh,
here's how I discovered her. Yeah. My first job in radio was in a commercial radio station in Peterborough, and there was a box of CDs. You know, you used to get sent actual CDs. That's what the DJs used to play, and it was one of the great joys of working at that place that, you know, once they'd sort of come in and gone through them, you used to get multiple copies. You could take them home. Yeah. And I found hers, and I was just like, this looks like my sort of thing. And boy, was it. It was great.
That's how I got into Imani when I was doing FM 103 Horizon. Milton Keynes Horizon, home of the hits. And they had a room that when the boss was not in the building, you could you weren't allowed to, but you could go in the room, and as long as you didn't take too many, you could just take a few CDs. And I saw the Imani CD. I went, oh, this looks interesting. Boom. One of the best steals ever done in my life. And a couple of people on the Facebook page going, who are these guests Ian's had in? We've not heard... Here's the thing, right? Why don't you just trust us with the guests? Just trust us with the guests. We only get people in that we know are brilliant. That's the whole philosophy of the show. We only get people in that we know are brilliant, that either are big stars, in the case of Nerina, or... they should be big stars, but for some reason the stars haven't aligned, something hasn't happened, but you should definitely check them out.
They're always hugely talented, right? Yeah. And they're always worth a bit of time just to have a
We never get filler guests. Never get. I did it once when I was at Absolute. Well, years ago, we were given this American comedian who we were told was big and was great, and he wasn't. He was a dick and he was rude and he was on his phone the whole time. And when I was with Eloise, and I just said to her, I ain't never going to get a guest in just because they've been offered to us. I'm only going to get people in that we like. And we get people that we love, and we get people that we know are going to enrich your lives if you're prepared to go and do a little bit of digging after they've been in. So all you got to do. We give them to you. You just got to go and do a little bit of work. Go onto Amazon. Go and buy a couple of Nerina's albums for pennies, and thank us later. Thank us later. I'm going to sneeze.
Good evening.
Shut up. I told you.
Oh, gosh, bless you.
I told you. You didn't believe me. You didn't think I was going to sneeze, and I sneezed. I proved you wrong again, Barney. Good evening, Manny.
Hey, Manny.
Good evening. How are you?
That's none of your business.
I think she had a beautiful voice, didn't she?
Yeah, she's great, man. Honestly, she's some singer, some songwriter, some pianist. She's the whole package, you know. She's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Very polite, humble.
She was very polite, and you don't get that enough in pop stars these days and singers.
No,
Manners maketh the manny, as we've established.
Stick the fingers up to your eye.
Yeah. The what? Huh? I'm wearing new trousers today.
Very nice.
And a new shirt.
I had to change my tights before I came into work.
Dirty.
Yeah, do you know why? I went round to Iain's, and no, not that. I was playing with his kittens, and they were slashing at my legs.
Playing with his kittens?
I was playing with his kittens, and that is not a
Don't
euphemism.
say kittens as though that's a rude word. There's nothing. The kittens could not mean anything sexual unless you are the highest of high perverts.
And yet, puppies do.
Puppies, yeah, they do, don't they? Okay, here we go. Hang on a minute, man. You got a phone. Shut up. We've got a phone in, right? Animals that are rude. Oh, this is great. Give me a pen. Give me a pen. Where's the pen?
Here.
Yeah, thank you. Jeez. Animal
euphemisms.
that are rude is better. Animals that are rude is better.
Okay, if you say so.
I tell you what, get a bit of paper. We'll do 2 phone-ins and see which is the most popular. 03444991000. My phone-in, animals that are rude, for example, puppies.
Beaver.
Thank you. And Catherine's?
Animal euphemisms. That's the same thing, but in two words rather than how many?
03444991000. You phone up and you say, I want to do animals that are rude or animal euphemisms, and we'll see who gets the biggest list.
We'll see who's read more books.
Okay. Yes, Manny, what can we do? Every time you come on, we have an argument, Manny.
You know when you was in the jungle, who have you kept in touch with?
I've kept in touch with Jenny from Coronation Street, plays Fizz. I've kept in touch with her husband a lot, actually. I text her husband Chris a lot because he's a nice man. But I think they're coming down to London at some point in February, and I think we're going to meet up for a little drinky poos. And I keep in touch with Shappy. I saw Shappy maybe 6 weeks ago, and I text her from time to time. Kez, I text infrequently, and that's it. Everyone else can go and take a running leap.
What's his name? Was pretty friendly with you, wasn't he? I mean,
I was friendly until I found out he was a backstabbing thicko.
You should know that about. I ain't going to say nothing.
Yeah, I found out he's a backstabbing thicko, and also he was actually quite mean to me in there to my face. He's one of those kids.
He's a glass chin, isn't he?
Sorry?
He's got a glass chin.
He's got a glass chin, apparently. So he's one of those kids who, just when they get bored, they just start picking on the weak one in the group.
Well, the way I saw it was, he's one of those kids who goes with the path of least resistance, whatever's easiest for him, right? So he went along with the...
He's lucky I didn't punch him.
He went along with the other blokes because he thought that they were the winners, right?
He was incorrect.
But actually, incorrect data.
I was the winner.
And when he was niggling at you, it was to try and win favour with them, to show that he was on their
Basically,
side.
I could have beaten all those men up in there. And I did, and they didn't show it. They had to cut it out for legal reasons.
You could have blown on his chin and he would have been knocked out.
Okay, I get the boxing. A phone call from Florida. It's not Amir Khan, is it?
Doubt it.
Is he with his wife at the moment, or have they split up again? I mean, that's back and forth.
They can split up and they can get together in a couple of minutes.
I apologise. That was blown up. Manny, is there a point to this call, or do you just want to reminisce about my fabulous career?
I just wanted to say about that young lady. She was nice and humble, beautiful voice.
Yeah, she's a great voice. Go and buy some of her. Go and buy a CD of hers.
I will. I'll tell my kids to sort of get it out.
I tell you. Yeah, all right. Thanks, Manny. Bye.
Bye.
I'll tell you in a bit.
Oh.
I had a good cry today. Do you know why? Not a good cry, a little weep. Right. And do you know why I had a little weep? I've got a new album, right? It's not the greatest album, actually, that this actor's ever done. But a little weep at the new Divine Comedy Live album. And do you know why I wept? I was grateful. That I'm alive while Neil Hannon is still doing concerts and making records. I was grateful because they're flipping ace, the Divine Comedy. Neil Hannon is out of this world. And it's quite a nice live album. But I was just, a little tear rolled down my cheek because I was grateful for the Divine Comedy because they're brilliant. Neil Hannon is brilliant. I think one of the shows, the show that we saw in Manchester is represented on this. It's live in Europe, but I think one of the Manchester shows is...
that was one of the best gigs, best venues I've ever been to.
It was great. Yeah, it was great. Anyway, I'm grateful that Neil Hannon exists. Love you, Neil. Thank you for the music. Good evening, Will.
Hello. Animals.
No, animals that are rude, or whatever Kath's was.
Animal euphemisms.
I don't understand the difference.
No, you just got to pick
There isn't
one.
a difference.
Which one would you like to do? Animals that are rude, or whatever Kath's was?
Don't make me choose, guys. I don't want to be put in the middle of your...
Who do you love best, Mummy or Daddy?
Catherine, that's not the game.
It totally is.
And that is out of order. That is not the game. The game is, which is the best phone-in?
If we both call Will, who does he run to?
Animals... All right, Will. Will. Come on, Will. Come on, Will. Come on, Will.
Beautiful
Will.
boy. Good boy. Who's a good boy? Come on, Will.
Come on, Will.
Okay. Kath's one.
Yes!
Oh, I feel terrible.
Have a biscuit.
We seem to have lost him now. I'm not quite sure.
Oh, that's tight.
No, I'm not sure. It wasn't my fault. It was a technical thing. I don't know what happened. Valerie, in Florida, United States of America. Stay there, because we have to go to the news, because this country's falling apart. And sorry, well, I don't know what happened there. It wasn't our fault. I think your phone battery probably died.
Such a bad loser.
Not at all, mate.
Oh.
Not at all. But when we come back from the news, we're going to go to Florida. We're going to speak to Valerie, and it's going to be awesome. What's this? Ian, I must apologise for my text the other night. I was trying to be witty about your taste in music. OK, Jamie, I have no idea what that refers to, but thanks so much indeed. It's appreciated. Apologies are always appreciated. Phone up and say you're sorry for stuff, guys. Let's be big about it. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, the Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee and Catherine Boyle, some weeknights from 10.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Divine Comedy. How honestly, a tear came down my cheek today as I just thought, God bless the Divine Comedy. God bless Neil Hannon. Aren't we lucky to live in a world where he is still pumping out records and still doing tours? If you ever get the chance, go and see him live, man. Loose Cannon, it's called. It's a pun.
Oh.
Isn't it? Canon.
Because Canon
is
like the collection of
there we go,
work.
There you go, you see? Well done. 0344.
Thanks. I live for your approval.
Well, I could tell you things, but I think it's better for you
that I already know most of them. Yeah.
If you work them out, okay.
Don't need to work it out.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. We call you back, which is important because it means you can call us from anywhere in the world, which is exactly what Valerie has done. Good evening, Valerie.
Good evening. How are you this evening?
Valerie, I'm on top of the world. You're in Florida, are you?
Yes, sir, I am. I just wanted to give you guys a big old wave your way, and I wanted to say hello to my husband, John. You've spoken with him before about his book he had published, The King of Poetry from the Ancient Shores of Ireland.
Now, Valerie, hang on a second, because you're breaking up ever so slightly, and I want to get this. We read extracts from your husband's book, didn't we?
Yes, you purchased it and you guys discussed it. You read part of it, and he wanted to let you know he has another book coming up in a few months ready to be published, and it's called The Chronicles of the Wizard of Avalon, and when it's ready, he would love to give you a call.
Dude, the Chronicles of the...
Avalon.
The Chronicles of the Wizard of Avalon, because the line isn't the greatest thing. Valerie, this is fantastic. I remember this. We found this, and he am I right that he publishes these himself online?
Yes, he uses a company called Page Publishing, and they're in Staten Island, New York.
Yeah.
And this is his second one. He thought it was great to discuss it with you and let everybody know about it.
Man alive. Okay, well, this is great. We love this. And remember, I bought this book online, and we read some extracts from it, and we spoke to your husband, and it was a joy. And we on this show, Valerie, we celebrate creativity, and we have big stars on, and we have small people on that haven't been discovered yet, but still have something to say, because we know how difficult it can be for your voice to be heard. When is the new book coming out, Valerie?
Probably within the next 3 to 6 months. So as soon as it's available, he'll give you a call and he'll let you know. It'll be on all the same websites as the other one, Kindle.com, all that.
I'm gonna pray, Valerie, that before that happens, either you get a new phone or we get a phone line that works, because we can hear you, but it's not the greatest. But yeah, listen, when the book comes out, get him to get in touch. Here's my guarantee. I'm buying a copy. I'm buying a copy of your husband's book, because I bought the last one, and I'm more than happy to send a few dollars your way. So next time, when it comes out, Valerie, give us a call. We will pay for the book live on the show, and we'll have a chat about it, and maybe we'll read some bits out and see if we can sell you a few copies. How about that?
That would be wonderful, and you all have a wonderful day, well, actually evening on your end.
Yeah.
Have a happy New Year.
What's the old man complaining about now? What's he moaning about? Listen, Valerie, I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to that loser.
I think he was wishing you a happy New Year.
Oh,
so be gracious.
Oh, in that case, a happy New Year to you, sir. Hey, listen, it's so nice to talk to you, Valerie. Thank you, and we will speak to you both very, very soon.
Okay.
Well, wonderful. Thank you very much, and take care,
I
everybody.
hope you had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Have you been drinking?
Not yet.
Well, get a few down you. It sounds like you need it. And the same to you, my friends, and we will speak very, very soon. Thank you so much for the call.
All right, thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. I remember that. I remember nothing. I remember that. What nice people. What lovely people. I can't remember how we discovered the book. Did they phone us up? How did we discover their book? We did discover it, and I bought it. I don't buy online, digital books very often. How did we I think they phoned us. Did they? They did. They phoned us, didn't they, to say I've got a book out. And I thought, well, that's got to be worth a few quid. It's taking the balls to phone up a radio station. Could have got Matthew Wright or Julia Hartley-Brewer. Can
you imagine?
Can you imagine? That was lovely. I'm not buying everyone's book, by the way. I can't afford it. I'm skint at the moment.
He spent a fortune on my chat. It's Fate, and I should be getting a new one soon, shouldn't I?
Mate, I hope so. Let's cast some runes and find out. So far, Animals that are rude. We've got puppies. We've got beaver. We've got snake.
God. Maggot.
We've got ponies.
Oh, yeah, you feed those.
You feed the pony. The pony is the clitoris. The vagina?
I think just the whole area.
The whole downstairs ladies' area. The pony. Oh, pussy. Let's get that one out while we can. Pussy. So we've got puppies, beaver, snake, pony, pussy.
Ferret?
No.
I mean, it just sounds rude, though, doesn't it?
Is this...
Oh! The monkey.
What's that?
Get spanked.
Oh, spank the monkey. Choke the chicken.
Here we go.
Is there an animal called the snatch?
No!
Is there not?
No.
Okay, all right. Okay. This is great. This is the best phoning we've ever done. And none of you got the brains or the balls.
Just me and you playing it.
No one's got... These guys haven't got the brains or the balls to phone in. And also, we may not be transmitting this show online. Someone messaged me and said, you know the show, we can't listen to you online. Oops. So we've got puppies, beaver, snake, pony, pussy, monkey, chicken. The cod? Is the cod?
No.
Cod isn't a thing. Okay, well that's a good... and this is what we're going to call it. The horny zoo. Or the petting zoo? No, the
heavy petting zoo.
The heavy petting zoo. There we go. The heavy petting zoo. This is great. These are ideas.
I'm sure we're missing something obvious.
0344 499 1000. If you guys want to take part, you're very welcome. Puppies, beaver, snake, pony, pussy, monkey, chicken. Just think, half an hour ago we said goodbye to one of Britain's greatest singer-songwriters.
Yeah.
Now we're playing this.
Well, I'm sure she would have had a few...
I wish she'd have gone earlier because I wanted to get into this as quickly as we could. I'm joking. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. People aren't calling in about this. Well, I think means people are losers, basically. People are disappointed that we're not out on College Green talking about Brexit. Here's the thing, though. I'm still holding out for my red, white, and blue Brexit.
Yeah, what was that? I know Brexit means Brexit, but has anyone said what Brexit means yet? Apart from Brexit.
You know we're all screwed, yeah? You know we're all absolutely screwed.
Yeah, but someone determined that we're going to be screwed because that's what we asked for.
I was listening to a bit. It was John Nicholson, wasn't it, last night? I listened to a bit. I never normally listen to the show when it's my show when I'm not in, but it was such an alien, format to us. I listened to a bit in bed, and I just thought, yeah, we're screwed. We are absolutely screwed.
Hey, look at this.
Oh, hang on, Maz. Of course, the ass.
How could we forget?
Thank you, Maz.
Keith and the Girl are doing their annual awards, and they're asking for nominations. And I just so happened to have seen that Keith just tweeted this. I vote for Iain Lee for Best Silent Trailers bonus show on YouTube. Iain is fantastic.
I'm fantastic. And
I'm still amazed how Keith can get Hemda's obscure yet oddly specific references. That's the second time, because I was listening to their podcast today and someone else wrote in about your silent trailers.
I'm big in America.
They said that they were laughing so much they woke their wife or something.
Wow. Yeah. Their wife was dead. Okay, so I could be up for a big award in New York. I might have to fly out for the ceremony.
You could be in for a catga, yeah.
Oh, yeah, like the go nuts. Thank you, anonymous texter. Tit. Let's go to... There wasn't being rude. That was their suggestion. I wasn't being rude.
I mean, then we could go into great tit, blue tit.
Big tit. Is there a big
that
tit?
Is the great tit.
Okay, right.
Common tit.
Let's go to... I've got another one. Swallow. Let's go...
Oh, dear.
This is the most fun. Good evening, Damo.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, Damo. Welcome to the show. That's a good voice. Welcome to the show.
I just wanted to add the explicit petting zoo.
It's called the heavy petting zoo. It's it's not the explicit petting zoo. Come on, we're cleverer than that. Go on, what you got?
Oh, crikey, I forgot.
Oh, jeez.
No, the ringworm.
my God, man.
Do you know, I'm going to put it down just because I'm scared you might get violent.
Okay, no, that's cool.
The ringworm. Okay. Is that it, Damo?
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's it.
That's it. This is why I love this. This is why I love this job. Caroline's on the line. Good evening, Caroline.
Hi there.
Have you got any suggestions for the heavy petting zoo?
No, I haven't.
Oh.
Good, she's more sensible than
Can
that.
I read them to you?
No.
Oh.
May I ask why? Oh, I'm sorry, my dear. I didn't realise you were upset. Go on, Caroline. Ignore my stupidity and my frivolity. What's going on? Just say that. Just take a deep breath. We've got no rush. We got all the time in the world. Just take a deep breath. And just, I apologise from the bottom of my heart for being frivolous and silly. I didn't realise that you were so upset. That's all right. We'll get there. So just take your time, and let us. When you're ready, you let us know what's going on.
Your program's kept me going because you're so funny.
Even the bits with Catherine in. I'm trying to.
He's so horrible.
No, I'm doing. Well, but thank you for the kind words. But why do you need something to keep you going? What's happening for you?
Terrible depression.
Oh, man.
I'm hiding it from people.
Yeah, it's exhausting doing that, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Really exhausting. Putting on I believe they call a brave face.
Really?
How long's this been going on for?
A long time.
Yeah. Have you spoken to anyone about it?
No.
No. So
I'm 57 years old.
How old did you say? 37?
57.
57. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got 3 grown-up children who I'm looking after. Oh gosh, sorry, I'm literally shaking.
Don't apologise, Caroline.
Yeah,
We've got
nothing
loads
to
of time.
apologise for at all. So, they're grown up. Do they still live with you?
No.
Say that again, Caroline, because it's a little bit tricky to hear you.
Yeah, I'm really sorry.
You've got nothing to be sorry about at all.
But as I said, that your program's made me feel like I'm normal.
Yeah. Wow. That's very flattering. And that's very kind of you to say. Thank you. That means a lot to both of us. So thank you for that. But so your kids are adults.
Yep.
And they still live with you.
No.
They don't. Sorry. Okay. Sorry.
No,
do you speak to them regularly?
I'm sorry. I'm shaking so much. I don't know what to do.
Okay. Do you speak to your kids at all?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I don't want to because I'm frightened.
You don't want to because?
Okay. Okay. Right, one's living abroad.
Right, one's abroad.
Okay. My eldest son's living abroad. I've got a daughter who is married, and I've got a youngest son who's at university.
Yeah. So they've got lives of their own, and they've got stuff on their own plate.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
you don't want to, as a mum, you don't want to worry them or upset them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I get that. Of course, I get that. I totally get that. All I can do is share my kind of experience and stuff.
Okay.
So I can't tell you what to do. But I would be so upset if I found out that my mum had been living in pain for any amount of time, but, for years it sounds like. I would be so upset if I found out my mum had been living in pain and she felt that she was unable to talk to me.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I do. I totally understand, but I can't do it. Because you have to be the strong one, don't you?
Yeah.
You have to be the strong one.
No, here's the thing. No, you don't. Listen, if they're babies, they're little kids, then there probably is something in that. There certainly is something in that in terms of being in front of them. But they're adults. Hey, listen, is it your son that's at university?
Yeah, my youngest son.
Yeah. Here's the thing now. It wasn't a thing when I was at university 25 years ago, but now universities are so hot on mental health and depression because so many young people, as you know, take their own lives. So universities...
That's what I'm worried about. That I'm worried about that if I share my problem that he's... Okay, right, I'm going to be totally open with you now. But I can't because I can't do it because if he knew that I would do it.
Sorry, you're saying that you're worried that if you share what's going on with you with your youngest, that he might kill himself?
Yeah.
That ain't going to happen. I can tell that's one fact I can tell you. That ain't going to happen.
Really?
Yeah. He's not going to kill himself because of you struggling. No, that's not going to happen. That's you being depressed. That's the sickness in your head.
Can I say something?
Of course you can. Of course you can.
Well, I can't because I can't tell you.
Okay. Is there any...
He's gay.
Sorry?
He's gay.
He's gay?
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't have a problem with that.
Right. Are you saying... I'm going to ask some questions that might sound dumb, but it's just because I'm trying to get... Are you saying that your depression is because he's gay?
No, not at all.
No, OK, that's fine. I didn't think so. I just had to check. Why does him being gay mean you can't tell him how you feel?
Because of the prejudice.
The prejudice towards him being gay?
Absolutely.
OK. Has he experienced prejudice? A lot of prejudice?
Probably not, I suppose.
Well, I don't know. Here's the thing, I don't know, because I'm a straight guy, so I don't know. I know that it still goes on, I know that it still happens. I also know it's considerably better than it was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And also, universities, again, man, universities are great places for young gay people because they're very open. They're very embracing of all different genders and sexualities and lifestyles. And here's the thing, there'll be loads of gay guys there as well.
Right.
So I wouldn't worry about him getting, prejudiced because he's gay and then you creating any more burden. Go on, Catherine.
Here's something I'd suggest, Caroline. The gay people I know, they understand a lot about what it's like to try and keep something under wraps and how unhealthy that can be.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why
I think he'd get it,
Yeah, no, I think I'm so sorry.
Don't apologise. We're so glad that you're trusting us with it.
I think I'm just having to I'm so sorry. It's I haven't even told my husband about it. It's just not right, is it?
It's really difficult to hear, Caroline, because you're upset and because it's not the greatest of lines. Just say that bit again about... Did you mention your husband?
Yep.
Go on, what's happened there?
Well, I haven't told him about anything because I can't, because it's old school.
He's a stiff upper lip, pull your socks up brigade.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, well, first of all, I know so many people who've been surprised, who have approached, parents or partners and thinking, oh, God, they're going to tell me to get my act together. I know so many people who've been surprised by the reaction they've got. So you never know. But maybe you don't go directly to him. Have you spoken to your doctor?
Well, I'm, no.
There you go. Well done. Okay, good. I'm glad we got there in the end. I could feel a little bit of bullshit coming along, and I'm glad you were honest.
Okay.
Have you got a doctor that you think you could talk to about this?
No. Okay, so my depression's got so bad that I've laid in bed for 4 days.
Yeah.
I gave up alcohol many years ago, and then relapsed. I haven't drank for a week now.
Well done. Good for you.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I'm embarrassed because I drank last week. And
can I ask, how did you stop drinking alcohol for a reason?
Yeah.
What was the reason?
Okay.
Just say it. I don't know who you are. So, I don't know who you are. There's no comeback from me, so just say it.
Okay. I lost both my parents. And then I lost my younger brother.
You lost a younger brother?
Yep.
Okay, how did you lose him?
He died through alcoholism.
Ah, so he was an alcoholic, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's a lousy way to go, isn't it? The poor soul.
Absolutely.
I feel really sorry for you, and I feel sorry for your parents. I feel really sorry for your brother that he died like that.
Yeah.
So, do you think? So
he was lovely.
I bet he was adorable. What was his name?
Iain.
Iain. Now, did he spell it the right way or the wrong way?
The right way.
With the I-A-I-N?
Yeah.
I love this guy. I love this guy.
He was adorable.
Yeah, I bet he was. How long ago did he pass away?
It was 7 years ago.
How many years ago?
7.
7. So still fairly recent.
Yeah.
And you've never got over it, have you?
No.
No. Do you blame yourself for it?
Yes.
Because you couldn't stop him drinking?
Yep.
Yeah. Did you try and stop him drinking?
No, I didn't know.
You didn't know?
I didn't know.
No. Here's the thing I do know.
Okay.
Even if you'd have sat down with him and tried to save him, even if you'd have... Whatever you'd have done...
Right.
You couldn't have stopped him drinking.
No.
You couldn't have.
He was lovely, Iain.
Yeah, I bet he was.
Honestly, I can't tell you. He was just a lovely man.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. But as his older sister,
Yeah, I totally understand that. Of course you do. That's natural. But again, you could not have stopped him drinking. Listen, you're talking to someone who's a drug addict and an alcoholic. The only person that stopped me taking drugs was me.
Really?
It was me. No, and I had people around me begging me. I had a partner begging me. I had family, my sister begging me. The only person that could stop me was me. When I'd had enough. No one else stopped me. And, you know, I know that isn't necessarily going to make you feel any better, but I think it's a really important thing.
But did you feel guilty, though? Just people, you know, you're obviously a really kind, nice person, but did you hate yourself for that, or? Yeah, of course I did. I hated myself. I was full of shame. Right. I was full of guilt. I was full of anger for everyone that tried to stop me, even though they were doing it out of love. Oh, it's horrible. It's a really horrible, lonely place. But the important thing to know is you could not have stopped him. You could have locked him, you know, on a desert island without booze. He'd have found a way to make booze. You know, this is it. Now, when you say you stopped drinking, Caroline, is that out of respect for your brother, or is that because you identified as an alcoholic? I identified with an alcoholic, yeah.
There we go. There we
because people have told me.
Well, it's all good, well and good people telling you, but did you think that you're an alcoholic?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. And how did you stop drinking alcohol for all those years?
Willpower, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I relapsed last week, and I'm really angry with myself.
Of course you
are. And that's why I won't go to a doctor, because I'm just too embarrassed.
Yeah, the embarrassment. Here's the thing: the embarrassment is huge, but the embarrassment is a killer as well.
Oh, really?
Oh God, the embarrassment is a killer, and the number of people that have died from embarrassment is huge. I'm just. So you didn't go to AA or have a counsellor or speak to your doctor or anything? You just stopped drinking for all those years?
Yeah, no, I did. I gave up drinking for a long time.
Yeah.
And then I did CBT.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I did that, and felt really proud of myself. But I'm just feeling like suicidal now again, and I can't tell anybody about it, which is why I found you.
Yeah. Well, you've told us about it.
Yeah.
So you can't be overwhelmed with embarrassment. You've you know, listen, I don't know you and you don't really know us.
No.
But this is a great empowering step that you've done to phone me and Kath up and share this really intimate secret, and we're both very, very grateful that you felt that you can tell us.
That's really kind of you.
And you already, 10 minutes into the phone call, 20, I don't know how long we've been talking, but
a long time.
You sound infinitely better than you did at the start of the phone call.
Yeah.
And that's just through telling us. So, again, I'm not telling you what to do, I wouldn't, but I'm just wondering, if you feel that much better telling us, how much better you would feel if you did tell a doctor? Because here's the thing: you go and tell a doctor you're an alcoholic and you're struggling, then they're not gonna laugh at you. They're not gonna turn their nose up at you. They're gonna try and help.
And here's the other thing: you won't be the first person who's been in their office having that conversation that day. They've seen it all before. They'll look at you like, if you take your car to a garage and say, right, this is what's up. They just want to look at how to fix you. So you ring us up and, we have some experience of this and we're not judging you. This is someone who's absolutely primed to be able to help you out.
Yeah.
Honestly. And do you know what? You sound lovely. You've got absolutely nothing to be ashamed of, and I know it feels like you have, but that's depression lying to you.
Why did you have a drink the other week after all those years? What happened?
because I suppose I couldn't. I suppose it's because I couldn't control. I worry about all my children.
It's funny, isn't it? So you're worried about all your kids. You know, one's abroad. They're all living their lives. They're grown-up lives now. When did the youngest move out of the house?
Sorry, I got a bit of a bug as well.
That's all right. Well, that's going to make everything worse. When did he move out of the house? Did he start university last September?
No, September before.
September before. So you've had just over a year of suddenly having no kids in the house.
Yep.
It's tough, isn't it? That's a tough one to deal with. I'm coming from a slightly different perspective. I moved out of the house, but I've heard from so many people, they call it the empty nest syndrome, isn't it? Where you've got years of fussing and cleaning and will you pick up your dirty pants and all of that. This isn't a hotel, all of that. Yeah. And then suddenly there's no one there. There's no one there to shout at. There's no one there to get grumpy with. There's no one there to love and cook for and clean for, which is we all love doing for our kids as much as we moan about
the
it.
other thing, there's no distraction.
Yeah. You're sat there with your thoughts.
Yeah. But also the fact that he's struggling.
Yeah, the fact that he's studying.
He's struggling.
He's struggling.
Yeah, with uni. You know what I mean?
With the course, as he picked
10% of us went to university when in our days.
Yeah.
And they're all expected to. You've got two young children. You'll want them to go off to university. You'll want them to do the best they can. And I don't think it's right for him.
You don't think it's right for him?
No, absolutely not. But I'm hiding all this. As I said to you, oh, gosh, I know I've got to go and see the doctor. I know I've got to see the doctor, but I just can't.
Does he, your son, just quickly on your son, does he think he's struggling? Has he said to you, I'm really struggling at uni?
Yeah.
He has said that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the problem is that I'm thinking, okay, Charlie, do what you have to do, but you need a plan B. I don't want him to go down to the same route.
Yeah.
I'm going down.
Oh God, you're a really good mum. That's what I'm getting from this. You're a good mum that loves your kids and you want the best for your kids. Here's one of the things though. We kind of have to let our kids fail.
Yeah, I know that, but
we have to let them, try stuff and do it to the best of their ability, and sometimes it'll work, and quite often it won't work, and they need to be able to come back and be able to lick their wounds and come up with something else.
Yeah. Life's really tough, isn't it, though?
Shit, man. Life is shit. It is tough. And I look at people who seem to sail through it, and I think, how the hell are you doing this?
Yeah, absolutely.
When I have days like yours, Caroline, where I can't get out of bed. Can't get out of bed and put my socks on. And you see people just seem to coast through life. And you know what? I'm sure those people are struggling too in their own way.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I do. Maybe not in the same way, but I think those people have got their own issues, their own problems, their own moments of self-doubt and self-loathing and, and being feeling like a failure.
Yeah.
You're not a failure. It sounds like you've done an amazing job so far as a mum. You've still got a lot of work to do. I know they don't live there, but it ain't over. But it sounds like you've done a cracking job so far.
I just don't want to be here anymore, Ian. That's all. Life is just so tough. I think I've done a good job.
Here you go. Listen, you've done a good job in several accounts. You've done a good job in not giving up when your brother died, because that's tough. You've done a really good job carrying on when Iain died.
Yeah.
So well done for that. And carrying on being a mum and having 3 kids who are scattered around the world.
Yeah.
They're doing those things partly because of you.
Really?
Of course they are. Of course they are. Imagine having the confidence to go and start a new life abroad.
Yeah.
Imagine. And that confidence, a significant part of that confidence will have come from you and the way you brought them up. There's other factors. There's school and there's friends and there's dad and there's... But the influence that a mum has is huge. And to one of your kids have the confidence to go to uni, the other one to have confidence to go and live abroad, that's amazing. You did that.
You've made them feel like all this is possible.
You should be really proud of yourself.
Well, I've not thought of it like that.
No. And that's part of the problem with depression and with alcoholism, if you are an alcoholic, I don't know, is that it makes us, they make us think the worst of ourselves. And we don't get to see or recognise the good stuff that we've done, that to other people is blindingly obvious. You've done an amazing job so far. When did your youngest come out to you?
I'm sorry. Basically, he got mugged in London by 3 young men.
Yeah.
He got his phone stolen and everything. He was just walking down the road.
Yeah.
With a girl, and he got mugged basically, and he'd had a few to drink, and then he told me.
Yeah. How old?
And I don't have a problem with that pleasing. No? But I, as I said earlier, that I it's just, there will be prejudice, I know.
Yeah, there will be, unfortunately. There will be. But again, if he... Not every gay man or woman, even now in 2019, not every gay person is able to tell their parents because they might think that their parents might be angry. Some parents, get this, some parents still kick their kids out for being queer. Imagine.
Really?
So, it still happens in 2019. So again, that's another brilliant thing you've done. You have created an environment where your son, who's feeling crap because he got mugged, is able to tell you that he's gay.
Yeah.
Not every gay person can do that to their mum or dad. They can't.
No,
So again, that's another bonus.
His dad, you see, and I'm hiding that.
He hasn't told his dad?
No.
Aye, well, that's a big secret for you to carry.
Yeah.
His dad wouldn't be keen?
No.
Oh, man. My families, huh?
Yeah.
Who'd have them?
Yeah,
they're so complicated. Well, well done you for being the parent. And again, you're having to carry a secret. It's not fair, but well done you being the parent that your gay son, when he was feeling at his lowest point, was able to come and talk to you about it. Again, that's amazing. This is brilliant mumming.
That's good. But I just still feel suicidal. I don't know how to get out of that suicidal feeling.
Right, okay,
though.
we're going to give you a phone number in a minute. So have you got a pen and paper?
No, of course I haven't.
Well, you go and get one then.
Okay.
I tell you what, let me play some adverts because I'm way behind in the adverts. So you've got a couple of minutes. Go and get a pen and paper.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
All right, Caroline. No, thank you for calling us. Stay there. We'll come to you in a minute. This is Talk Radio.
Stimulating nightly emissions guaranteed to open your eyes and your mind.
Oh, my word. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Just want to say, we're here every weeknight from 10. Ansky, you're a prick. Let's go back to Caroline, who's hopefully got a pen and paper. Have you got a pen and paper now?
Yes, I have.
Good. Right, 116.
116.
123.
123.
Read it back to me, please.
116 123.
That's the Samaritans. Have you ever called the Samaritans before?
Yes.
Have you?
Yeah.
How did it go?
Well, they can't help, can they?
Well, they can't. No, they can't give you advice. They're not allowed to give you advice. But listen, I've been in a similar place to you, right, where I've actually wanted to kill myself, and I've been ready to do it. Absolutely ready to do it. I found the spot I was going to do it. Just had to go and buy some rope. That's how I was going to do it. And I thought, right, before I do that, I'm just going to phone the Samaritans. Just see. And they didn't fix it. They couldn't offer me any advice, couldn't give me any suggestions. But it was just enough of a pressure release that at the end of the phone call, after 10 minutes, I didn't want to kill myself. I still felt lousy.
Right.
But I didn't want to die.
Okay.
And that's it. That's it. It just released a little bit, enough pressure to help me get to bed that night and wake up the next day.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Right, listen, we're coming to the end of the show.
Yeah.
And so we're running out of time. I'd like to speak... What day are we now? Wednesday? Are we Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. I was supposed to get paid today. I didn't get paid. Maybe we could speak either tomorrow or Friday?
What do you mean?
Well, maybe you could phone up the show tomorrow night, or Thursday or Friday. Just so that we know that... You don't have to, you're under no obligation, but just so that we know you're still alive, to put it bluntly.
Okay.
You don't sound convinced.
Okay, I'll send the Samaritans.
Okay.
You've been, as I said to you, you've kept me going.
Good. I want to keep you going a bit longer because I like you, and I think you're doing a grand job, and you've had a lot of crap to have to wade through. I'm really sorry for Iain. I'm really sorry for the loss of your brother. That's horrendous. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault, Caroline, that your brother died.
My name's not Caroline.
Is he using a different name?
Yeah.
That's fine. Don't worry about that. It's totally understandable. You don't have to tell us your real name. Of course you don't. But it's not your fault. And I think you need to start trying to realise that. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Hey, no, listen, thank you for calling. Thank you for sharing that. I promise tomorrow night between me... Catherine, tomorrow night from 10 o'clock, can we just dick around for 3 hours?
Absolutely, I'll
to
note
keep
that
her
down.
entertained,
yes,
okay?
Yes.
We're gonna do absolute Tom Dickery. And listen, there are so many people that will help you, Caroline, if you ask for it. Your doctor will not judge you and may be able to get you some more CBT, may be able to get you some meds. There's no shame in taking antidepressants whatsoever. It doesn't have to be forever. So there's a couple of options there. The Samaritans, it's great just to talk to them. You can give them any name you want. They don't know your phone number. They don't know anything about you. And maybe, just start considering... If you had to talk to one of your kids, and here's the thing, you don't have to tell them everything, and I'm not saying you should do it, but maybe just think which one of the 3 kids is perhaps robust enough that you could maybe have a chat with them about stuff.
It's not fair though, Iain, is it? I just don't want to burden them.
No. Listen, life ain't fair, but... sometimes the kids have to look after us a little bit. It's not doing them... you're doing them a disservice by not talking to them about it. I think you have to... It would be helpful to try and get that mindset out of your head that telling them is unfair.
I'm not convinced. I'm really...
No, I know you're not. Shall I tell you what... Can I say something really brutal?
Yeah, I do.
I tell you what would be more unfair is if they got a phone call one day saying you killed yourself. That would be more unfair on them. And I really hate to be so blunt, and I'm sorry, but that would be more unfair. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be more unfair on them.
Yeah.
All you got to do tonight is get some sleep. That's it. All you got to do is get your head down and get some sleep and wake up for another day. That's it.
That's hard, though, isn't it?
No, it's really tough. It's a real tough one, but I know you can do it. I've got confidence that you can do it.
Really?
You've just got to get through tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay, thank you so much.
No, thank you. I really appreciate you've given us a lot to think about, and I appreciate you sharing that with us, Caroline. All right?
Okay.
All right, take care, love. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah. Paul, this is all over the... Come in, Paul. All over the world, all over the country. There's just poor souls everywhere, man, struggling
and
to
that's
get by.
another
That
thing.
poor woman
There'll have been
blaming
someone
herself for her brother's death.
Exactly, and there'll have been someone listening to this, more than one person, thinking, that sounds like me.
It reminded me hearing Caroline there, and I do hope and pray she's okay and realises how valuable she is and what she's achieved. And you were brilliant with you guys as ever. But there's a great American writer from the mid-19th century called Henry David Thoreau, you might have read. He wrote a book called Walden, and he basically gave up his life in the city. He knew great people like Emerson, and he gave up and he went to live in Walden, basically in a cottage, and he kind of lived and he wrote about his meditations. And there's a line in that, and he says most men lead lives, and he meant women as well. Most men and women lead lives of quiet desperation, and it's the quiet thing, isn't it? And that's what, and then it builds up, and then. You know, things sometimes explode, or you feel you can't control things.
I'm one of those people that, from like my 20s, I would just go and talk about stuff. I got it. I would go and talk to a doctor. I've seen loads of therapists. I go to 12-step meetings, and I will sit there and go, "I'm going through this," and it helps so much. But there are so many people that they can't. That talking about stuff is like seen as a weakness or a shame or all of that. And
something I got from Caroline was she's got a lot of compassion for everyone else. Now, if she were her own sister, what would she say to herself? She'd want to look after herself.
You got this one, Caroline. You got this one. I didn't. I was about to do this before we spoke to Caroline. The story about this. This is Paul.
I'm going to try and get. If I can get him, I'll give him to you guys because you deserve it.
No, you do. You do. A 5-minute cut of Africa by the US band Toto is the only track on a solar-powered MP3 player attached to 6 speakers erected somewhere in the dunes of the world's oldest desert.
That's amazing, isn't it? Right there. That's a whole show.
No, surely that breaches the country code in some way.
So basically, it's playing.
No, they shut the gate behind it.
So it's basically. So I've had a few people pointed this out to me today. So it's basically playing Africa in the desert forever on a loop, an eternal loop.
So when we are all, when the cockroaches usurp us and take over the earth, somewhere a part of Africa will be forever Toto.
Gosh.
Paul Ross, what's in your show tonight, please, mate?
Well, we are marking 150 years of Heinz. Their ketchup is 150 years old this year. We are crossing to the Heinz Museum, of course we are, in the USA. We're also going to be crossing to the University of Buffalo in America because there's a lab there, and this sounds like the start of a brilliant high-concept either TV series or film from the 90s, where they are brewing their own lava. They don't understand enough about lava, the volcanologists. Yeah. They know kind of how it's caused. They don't understand what happens inside it. So they are, even as we speak, making their own lava.
Isn't lava just like really, 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 really hot rock?
You might think that.
Yes.
They are coming to rather different conclusions, I understand.
Earth juice.
I think you might be... I think you might be confusing lava and magma. I made the same textbook error. I'm sorry.
The magma.
I made the same text. So we're crossing live to the university where they're brewing lava. I mean, you know what happens in society, though? 5 years down the line, kids will be buying that as a Christmas kit.
Yeah, they will.
Lava. Dad, I'm bored with the lava,
I like these places where they make clouds. You know, they make clouds in like big laboratories, and they can create lightning, and now they're making lava.
Albert Speer, when he was the architect for Hitler, he designed this huge, hideously vulgar building, a huge building, and it would have been so big and so high, it would have had its own weather system inside. You'd been inside a building, seriously, clouds would have formed, and there'd have been rain inside the building.
It says here that you've been an architect before. Who was it you worked for before? It was Hitler. Thanks very much indeed. Yes, we'll pass on this.
Any chance of a reference?
Paul Ross is up next. Thank you, Nerina. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Catherine. Some show tonight, guys. We're back tonight. Fingers crossed at 10. This is Talk Radio.